You are sitting at the ranking table, brought to you by For the Sake of Heaviness. My name is Mercyful Mike. I'm here with all of my friends at the table. We've got my co-host, Brian Balich. We've got Eric Sexton-Dorsett. We've got Darin McCloskey. And we've got the one and only Mr. John Gallo. What's up, guys?
How are you? Mr. John Gallo.
Hey, hello.
Eric, tonight, I think you should change your middle name to Saxon. Saxon? Eric Saxton-Dorsett.
Oh, yeah. It's already pretty freaking British, man. I mean, it's as Saxon as you get. I think Eric Sexton-Dorsett. I mean, you couldn't get more bad tooth British than that name, I think. So,
all right, gentlemen.
But tonight, I can go by Saxon.
It's Y2K all over again. Back to 2000. 5 albums we're discussing tonight.
We're all gonna die.
Oh my God, the lights are gonna go out.
Knock up on shampoo.
Yeah.
We've got Nevermore, Dead Heart in a Dead World. We've got The Lord Weird, Slow Fag, Down Among the Dead Men, Internal Void, Unearthed, Goatsnake, Flower of Disease, and King Diamond's House of God. All right, as always, 5 albums. We go around. We rank from the bottom up. We'll go 5 and 4, and then 3 and 2, and we'll share our number 1. So, calling it as I see it. And tonight, Butch, you're in the first spot. So. Give us your number 5. Cinco. 5 and 4. What do you got?
I feel so bad this month because it was really hard. Like
albums, yeah.
There's a couple. Most of these I am acquainted with, and the Nevermore I never really was, but I listened to it. You know, I was like, wow. I really enjoyed like all 5 of these, so it was really hard for me to rank them. So for me, like, there's very fine distinctions between them, and some of this just comes down to, you know, what we always talk about, nostalgia and how it takes me back to a certain place, like how I felt when I was listening to the record.
It does.
Yeah. So I was surprised with this one that this one ended up at number 5, but I got to put House of God at number 5. I always like this one. It seems to get like a little bit of flack from the fan base. I always thought it was good. Like, as far as like King stuff, I think everything is there. Like the cool concept and the great musicianship is there. The what you expect musically is there. Lots of riffs and tempo changes, and it keeps it exciting. There's the mood pieces in between to keep things rolling. And my only thing with this one is I just think there's a couple songs where like King is just like, it feels a little bit like he's dialing it in, phoning it in a little bit on like Black Devil and Follow the Wolf, I think, are just a little bit like, I don't know, like he's just like, just a little bit on the mediocre side for me. So it really just came down to that with this one for me. So I put that one at number 5, although I still think it's great. And it's one of those records that's on my must reacquire someday list on CD, or I had it on CD for years, and it didn't survive the purge.
We better get it soon. You only have till the year 2000.
Yeah. In the year 2000.
I can't even do the high part.
All right. Are we doing 5? Are we doing 2 at a time? I always forget what we do.
Yeah, last time we did 1.
I thought we do 1 at a time.
Yeah, never mind. I don't even know what I was thinking there.
Yeah,
it's been too long. It's been too long.
Yeah,
I forget what the fuck's going on. All right. That brings Eric. Eric, you're up, man.
Oh shit. All right. Yeah. So my number 5 was is they pronounce the name Slowfag?
Yeah.
I figured there's different ways to pronounce Slough. So but I wasn't familiar with those guys. Actually, they're cool. I mean, they were number 5 for me, but again, it was just kind of the main reason for that is that's just not my style of music. Like I'm not the kind of bardish.
What, good?
Yeah, exactly. I don't like good music. I like to be counterculture for the sake of. I like to be counterculture for the sake of being counterculture. So I'm sorry, I can't like bands that everybody else likes. You know,
no one liked him back then.
Nonconformist.
Yeah.
My wife actually said that when we first started dating because like the amount of pentagrams on my body. She's like, "You just being counterculture for the sake of being counterculture," and I'm like, "The hell is kind of comment is that?" Anyway, she's pretty awesome. But you know, it's like that bardish Irish folk. Like, my family's Irish, English, Scottish, Lithuanian, but like it didn't transfer to me music wise. I don't really dig that stuff. I mean, the kind of major sounding triad things over 16th note double bass, even when Iron Maiden does it, like it can only be for periods, and they somehow make it more powerful and cool. To me, it just kind of you know, it's cool though. I mean, I thought that the thing is that the singer, I don't know that singer, but I like his voice, and I think that what I liked about it was that it was odd enough, quirky enough to make it listenable and like cool. You know, like it's like, oh, I can get into this, but then I can't, and then I could get into it, and then I really didn't like it. And it was like, you know, I don't know, most porn, really good, and then
it's like Kevin Nealon.
Exactly, the Kevin Nealon. It was hot. It was super hot, and I lost interest. That was this record. Kevin Nealon's porn sketch. And there you go. There's my number 5. That's what I got to say about that.
Eric, if you like Scalzi's voice, you might. I'm sure you've heard of Hammers of Misfortune, but
right,
yeah, he sings on some of those. You know,
I was going to go back and review that. I'd forgotten about that, so I was like, because it. Yeah, I mean, yeah,
it's a split of vocals. Like he sings some, and then John Cobbett, I think, does some of the black metal vocals on there, and
oh, cool.
There's all kind of different stuff going on, so you might dig them.
Black metal ventures into that folk stuff too, and I'm like, why?
Mm-hmm.
Why? I guess that's counterculture for the sake of counterculture. You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna throw crappy Irish music in to our heavy metal.
I think Mike Scalzi is like.
I just want our Irish fans to know that the views expressed here tonight
do not necessarily represent all 5 members of the ranking table.
I think Mike Scalzi is the modern day version of Phil Lynott from Thin Lizzy, his lyricist wise.
Really?
In a storytelling.
I feel like the way he delivers words.
I don't get that.
Yeah.
His pronunciation. He sounds like really. I couldn't even imagine singing some of those parts, like doing covers of some of their songs. But
I think he, but you know, I could relate him to Phil just in that he's like he's got like a unique thing going on, but I don't really hear he is a storyteller though, and he is unique. Yeah. Like he's one of I
hear the Thin Lizzy aspect. I mean, besides the main.
Well, it's definitely in the music, like in the riffs and stuff.
Yeah.
At time that and especially the first couple records, heavy like early Maiden. Like I think the Twilight of the Idols really sounds like Killer's era Maiden to me, like guitar tone and everything. But anyway, sorry, Eric, I didn't even step on your toes.
No, you're not stepping on anything. Yeah, I mean, I listened to some of their other stuff. I liked it better actually than this record. So it's
like Traveler.
I don't remember which one I listened to. But I listened to like 2 of them. I was like, Scalzi, you know, I need to listen to more discography here just to see if this is a fluke. And I think
I said they definitely departed a little bit more from I mean, they've always had the folky aspect, but I think maybe as they went on, it wasn't always as predominant, I think.
Yeah, they evolved quite a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not a folky guy.
They're all over the place. Like, Hunchback of Notre Dame from Ape Uprising is, borders on the doomy side. I don't know. They're all over the map. It's like his musical taste. I think. Like I guess he teaches philosophy too. So he's
a teacher.
He's an interesting dude.
I don't know. You know, I live in Portland, and we get like coffee shop folky stuff. We get like you go out for chicken wings, and you get like jug band Americana. Like I don't know. I support the arts and I love music more than anything. I just don't rock out to folk music in my metal. So, I mean, sorry guys.
I don't particularly.
I feel shame.
I think that this band is definitely different than a lot of other bands that infuse it, you know. But yeah, I don't know.
I feel shame and small amounts of regret, but I can't. I have to live with my choices.
Yeah,
all good.
And at the time, this is a very
All
rare
good.
thing too for the period in time that this came out.
It would
This
have
was
to be
like,
2000. Yeah.
yeah, this is before hipsters embraced anything, really. I guess.
That's a good point. They were doing this way before the hipsters caught on.
Yeah, and I don't know if they even did. I don't think it's like that popular, but it's a known band. But
Thank
It
the
is with the
ancient ones.
hipsters.
yeah,
Hipsters
I
are
guess
in
you're
this.
Right.
Yeah, that's probably true.
All right, Darin, what do you say for your 5?
Okay. This is a hard ranking. They're all good. Yeah, I say that every time, but I think this is a little bit more challenging to put them in any kind of an order. And again, it's based on what I would be listening to tonight.
Mm-hmm.
But number 5 is going to be Nevermore, Dead World, and there was a lot of hype with Nevermore when they first came out, and I bought the first CD, and I expected something different, I guess. I mean, I liked it enough, but it didn't really grab me, so I put it aside, and then I bought this when it came out in 2000, and I listened to it once, and I just wasn't really into it. I mean, it was good. Everything about it was, I mean, the musicianship is great, the vocals are great. It just wasn't really what I was into at the time, so I put it aside. In fact, I put it aside until like 2 weeks ago when we were supposed to getting ready for this. And I put it on, and I'm like, oh, this is really good. I should put this on more often, or I should check out other stuff. Maybe I'm just ready for it now, and I wasn't then. But and it's really good. I mean, Werrell Dane, is that how you say his first name? Werrell. Tremendous vocalist, man. Tremendous. He just has a range. I don't know if it's like a tonal. I mean, it is a tonal range, but in particular, it's his delivery, his emotional range is
very much so. Yep.
And I appreciate that, and I totally respect that. Musicianship, the guitar playing is phenomenal. I'm not a guitar player. I don't know one end of the guitar from the other, but I mean, it sounds pretty fucking impressive to me.
Yeah, Jeff Loomis is incredible.
And everything is it's very cohesive. It's not, I mean, there's obviously a lot of talent in the band, but it's not showy. There's not a lot of like unnecessary things that I detected. It seemed like it all fit together really well. And it's a long album. At least it felt long, but I was entertained the entire time. I wasn't. I was kind of predicting that I would probably not make it all the way through the end, but I did, and I enjoyed it. But nevertheless, will I revisit it anytime soon, or will I revisit it sooner than I will the other ones in this ranking? Probably not, and so that's why it falls at number 5 for me.
Probably not.
Hey, fair enough, and that's, for me anyway, that's like the fun of doing this, because we do get to revisit some of these albums that were either
100%.
accidentally, set aside and forgot about, or just like, oh shit, I forgot how much I used to really like this album. What happened? So yeah, I totally get that, Darin. So, all right, John, what you got at number 5?
I have to repeat that and go with Nevermore. I tried when I first started listening to it. I couldn't handle it. It's like totally opposite of the music that I listened to. The modern riffing in it is just like, it's just something I would never listen to at all. And I know that like Nick and Mike in my band, they like Nevermore back then, and I see them open up for Opeth and stuff, but I just could never get into them. But I didn't think I don't know if they have different albums that are better, but this one, like, I couldn't stand like that new metal kind of riffing, and it sounds modern to me, even though this is from the year 2000. This sounds like new music to me, and it sounds very, I don't know. It's just like, I almost couldn't even get through the first 2 songs. And then I listened to a little bit more, and there was like some parts that like, it sounded kind of good, but even if he's a good guitar player, it's like, I like some of maybe I like the parts where they might do a doomy part and go into a solo, but I didn't like the vocals. I don't know, it just sounded really processed. I don't know, like Queensryche got steroids or something, but not. I'm not a big Queensryche fan either, so I don't know. But,
that's awesome.
Who picked this one, by the way?
Me.
Eric.
Oh,
you're welcome.
It's weird. I feel like me and you have completely opposite spectrum of taste.
I love this. It means we need to write a song together.
I would love
Dude,
to
that
do
would
that.
be.
It might be awesome. Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know, we got to do that.
It's gonna
I will
happen.
send you a riff. I will send you a riff tomorrow. Definitely.
Okay.
Eric, I've been
I'm on
asking him for a riff for like 22 years now, though. So just you might have to wait a little bit.
I might have to wait.
You'll get a lot of riffs from him, but they might not be for you.
I could write anything for anybody else.
I love it.
Like fuck Butch.
Butch, I did some artwork for him. Oh, wait, are we going to collaborate, Butch? You mean, wait, you were supposed to do vocals on my that one album I made. Remember that? What was it called? Green Tide. Did you want to?
I don't know. You never sent me the tracks.
I thought you wanted to do that. Did I?
Butch is singing on the song.
We'll talk about it on a flip side.
If you want to do
send me the riffs, I'll add some Nevermore parts to it.
There you
no,
go.
No, I don't know. I guess if you bring the Slowfeg aspect into the Nevermore, maybe it would like meet somewhere in the middle. It'd be like Go Fast. I don't know. It'd be like something. I don't know. I don't have a lot to say about it. I know I feel bad because it's just not my style. I know I should have really went more into it, and I know that every member of the band is pretty influential, and you know, Jeff Loomis is an Arch Enemy. I'm not even a big Arch Enemy fan. I don't know what bands would I like that they would be associated with. You know, what was
none of them.
Oh, they were kind of born.
What about Sanctuary? Did you like them?
Yeah, they were born. From
you know, Sanctuary. I've heard a video. Yeah, I mean, I guess it was okay. I don't know.
Sanctuary.
3 of those dudes were in Sanctuary.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe I'll listen to more of that.
Listen to Battle Angels. That song's killer.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, sorry to be. I'm very like I have a lot less words this time. I guess about maybe I'll have some more words about other releases.
It's all good. All right, well, you know what? I'll just jump in on my number 5 then. And this is again, like Butch was saying, you know, there's a fine line between a lot of these, but Lord We're Slowfag, Down Among the Dead Men for me. You know, it's got everything you would want in there. You know, it's got power metal, speed metal, like Eric said. It's got like the folky aspect. The twin leads are blazing. Scalzi is a great storyteller. You know, the way that he you know, presents the lyrics and the song structure. I got to tell you though, it as the album starts off, it's great, but Scalzi's vocals about midway through, they just start to kind of grind on me a little bit, where I'm like,
repeated parts, maybe.
Yeah, it's like he's got a great tone in the way, and his delivery is good, but by the you know, mid to the last point, I'm like, oh, okay, I'm kind of looking forward to the end of it. Sky Chariots, Warriors Dawn, probably the high points of that album. Really, really good stuff. But as a whole, and I'm not like really versed in later day Slowfag. Maybe, you know, it's something I need to get into, because I know that the band has evolved. And for this particular album, especially when it comes to like the power metal aspect, there's always that real fine line of it's good or it's corny as shit, you know, and they balance that pretty good here for the most part, but I just get a little bit of that samey feeling as the album draws to a close, where I'm like, okay, well, I don't really need to listen to that again for a little while, but you know, it was a good revisit. Again, I'm not I don't have like the entire discography at my fingertips, and I stream the majority of it. Good stuff. I think it's just one of those albums I gotta actually like really be in the mood for, and that's all I got to say about that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yep.
Could accidentally roofie yourself.
I will say we did play with them one time when I was in Crucifix. It was during the Reverend Bazaar tour when we were doing what it was on touring with Gates of Slumber and Reverend Bazaar. But after those dates were done, Rochester, like the following day after we played with Reverend Bazaar, my other band Crucifix played with Slough at the Bug Jar. Then I saw them at Frost and Fire Fest. So they're awesome live. Like, they're amazing live.
Great live band.
The Bug Jar is still open, right, John?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay.
They went through a phase where they were doing like a Kickstarter or something, but yeah, they're still going strong.
Okay.
So
all right. Yeah, that's kind of a, you know, from my point of view, that's seems like it's become a bit of a legendary spot up there in Rochester.
Yeah. We just played with the Obsessed there back in February.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
All right, Butch, up to you for number 4.
Number 4 for me is Nevermore, Dead Heart in a Dead World. And I'll tell you right off the bat that the reason it didn't rank higher is because, I guess I won't tell you right off the bat. I will build up to it. I had listed this in, I think I'd listed it when it came out. And again, Nevermore is kind of like an acquired taste for me. I get what John is saying. Like there was a modern element to the riffing and to the production that Andy Sneap production that separated it a little bit from like the stuff I would normally listen to. And at the time this record came out, I was like, eyebrows deep in Doom and stoner rock. That was it was a big time for, there was emissions from the Monolith. So I was like buried in, the Obsessed or Spirit Caravan and Pale Divine and Orange Ruin and all that kind of stuff back then. Yeah. Or John, Orange Ruin wasn't.
We were quite, we were around.
It's the point. It's that style. Yeah. Like,
the More Too Late thing was out, and I know you signed it when you were in Penance. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, so. Yeah. It wasn't like my thing back then. And Warrell Dane was always kind of like an acquired. Like sometimes I listen to him and be like, oh my God, first of all, he was amazing. Like in terms of his range and, what Darin was saying about his the emotional aspect to his voice. He's one of the most unique singers I think we've seen in metal, like completely, inimitable. So, side note, it's kind of weird for me that they're going to continue without him, but I haven't heard the new guy yet. So
good.
Yeah, I mean, unique bands. And like, I did the same thing Darin did. I bought the first one when it came out and I was just like, I'm just kind of not feeling it. I don't know why I expected to love it because I like Sanctuary. There were parts of both those records I liked a lot, but then there were parts I was like, it's a little bit hit or miss for me. But anyway, I really like this record, like the more I listen to it. But what sinks it for me is that it's possibly the worst cover ever of any song that I've ever heard. Their version of Sound of Silence is fucking awful. It's like they took a song.
You better not follow that shit up saying that the Disturbed version is better. Because I'll boot your ass off of here right now.
200 times better, and then you find the live version where Miles Kennedy is singing with them, and they actually have like the two voices going. It buries this. This is terrible. It has nothing to do with like there's taking the song and making it your own, and there's taking the song and destroying it, and it's like the song in name only. There's no connector to the Simon and Garfunkel song. It sounds nothing like it in any way. There's no. You can't.
That's what I like about it, though.
Oh, I hate it. I fucking.
Don't stop there, Butch. Keep going, man. Don't stop there.
Go.
It's fucking terrible. I cannot stand it. Like, hands down, worst cover ever.
I'm not running out saying I love it, but I like it when people do a cover and it sounds different than the original. And when you think of the people who've done it, like Disturbed, okay. How about you got to hear? Look up Todd Hoffman, I think his name was, the guy from the TV show Gold Rush, did a cover of that, and there's other ones out there, trust me, that are worse. And I mean, at least what they did was they kind of made it sound like a Nevermore song, So I think that's what was cool about it.
I mean, I get it. Like I like when bands like make songs their own. Like obviously we all, I won't speak for all of us, but I think all of us, love what like Priest did with. The Green Manalishi and Diamonds and Rust, like those are awesome, but there's still like, I think part of me too, like part of it, what guts me about this song is like when I heard that they were covering it, I think I had in my mind like how cool it could be. And then I heard it and I was like, that is not at all, like there's no mood to it or anything. It totally has I don't know, it just strips the song of any of the moodiness that Simon and Garfunkel brought to it. And it's just like it sounds like they were like, here, we got this extra song. I don't have any lyrics for it or a melody line. Oh, why don't I just take the lyrics out of here and it won't sound anything like it, but we'll say that that's what it is because we'll use the words. It's just like they just jammed it in there. It's like a square peg in a round hole.
I get that, and yeah, that's true. I mean, that's definitely a pretty easy way to look at it. I'm kind of surprised I don't see it that way too. I was at first when I heard it, I wasn't even aware that it was The Sound of Silence, and
I know I kind of felt the same way actually.
As it went on, I was like, oh, okay, I was picking out different lines. I guess you look at it, a cover. I mean, maybe what attracted them to doing it was the lyrical content, maybe not so much the music. So they wanted to cover or they liked the lyrics, so they wanted to do that in a different format. And so in that aspect, I think it's successful. As far as like sounding melodically like the original, no, it doesn't. But I mean, there's a couple little earmarks, but I thought it was cool. I mean, I was surprised that I won't say I liked it, but I didn't hate it, and I was surprised that I didn't hate it.
I guess too, it's not.
Like, yeah.
It's not, just to clarify. I guess it's not that it's not that I care so much that it doesn't sound like the original. It's that I don't like what it sounds like. If it would have been, maybe they would have done a different version of it in an alternate universe, and I would have been like, that sounds nothing like it, but it's cool as hell. I'm sure I like covers like that are out there. That if I sat down and think about it, I'd be like, I really like that cover. Sounds nothing like the original, but it's cool. Like, I just don't like
Arthur Brown's
anything
Fire
about this.
by God Dethroned. That's an interesting one.
Plus, I really love the original song. Like, I just love the way the vocals blend, and I just think I had more in mind that Worrell. With the talent in the band, I just thought, oh, they're going to make this sound like more brooding and dark, and I don't know. It is dark, but the whole album is dark. But
I think it is brooding and dark, and I think they played very well into Worrell's delivery. Because that's his wheelhouse, is that dark,
especially in the bridge.
I need to revisit it. Obviously, I'm going to be revisiting the album because I like the album a lot, like I said. But as of now, sorry.
All right, well, you've had your time in the spotlight there. We're going to go right on over to Eric now.
Okay.
What do you got, Eric?
Number 4, my notes here were, I apparently missed all of Doom and stoner rock stuff. Stoner metal stuff. I apparently didn't think I did, when like Southern Lord, whatever. I mean, I like, there was bits and pieces, I guess, So I mean, I think that maybe I didn't don't kick my ass for about. I don't think I got past like Caius and stuff like that. When they came out, like I just never went down that road. I wasn't. But anyhow, number 4 for me was Goatsnake, Flower of Disease. But I like the album. I like the album a lot. Actually, there's one of these ones I listened to it working out and see if it works for me, and it was really cool. I just didn't know anything about them, so again, you guys help me out with this kind of stuff because I get educated on it. I'm not sure. I try to think like where I was during that time, and 2000 seems like just an odd, kind of a blank area for me. Like I wasn't really playing in metal bands in 2000. Like I think I was playing like R&B or something like that, and like I just kind of was disenchanted with what was.
Uh-oh, did we lose Eric?
Uh-oh.
Oh, I thought that was me. I thought it was my connection.
Oh, let's give him a second. He was just so distraught over Butch's comments that he had to
there
tap out.
You guys got me back. Could you hear me?
Yeah.
See me just sitting here picking my nose? Yeah, yes. I'm sorry. I'm on an island, man. It just keeps saying like internet connection unstable. So yeah, I just don't know what I was doing back then. Like 2000, I keep thinking about it. I'm like, but I was listening to metal, but I wasn't really playing metal bands. And like, what year did Korn come out? Can someone help me? I'm just old.
94,
90s,
maybe?
right?
95?
Sure.
94, 95?
95
So-
and 94, 96, somewhere in there.
Okay, so that's still even early.
That
So
was I wasn't into that either.
I'm not even going to make excuses, but like when Korn came out, I listened to the first record, and after that, everyone I knew wanted to play that kind of
That
stuff,
style.
and
Yeah.
I just was like, well, fuck playing metal then, you know. So and you guys cut out on me again. I'm gonna see if I can.
We lost Darin too.
It's going around, man.
Wow, that's
No.
crazy.
Technical difficulties here. I'm telling you, Butch ruined it all.
Yeah.
Everybody's freaking out over that.
I
that
put the
comment.
bad mojo on the video.
Mojo killer.
All right.
I was
Yeah.
going to say,
Do you edit this, Mike?
Oh, don't even worry about it. We'll take care of it. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, get it. Edit me
I
and
can get
also
my
fix my
video.
hair. So anyway, I won't go on more about that. But yeah, I mean, no one I knew was really doing. You guys cut out again. Shit. I'm using the extension.
The voice.
Can you hear me?
I can
Yeah,
hear you, Darin.
I
I
can hear you,
cannot see
Darin.
you.
Yep.
Can or you can't?
Cannot see you. I
Cannot
can
see
hear
you,
you.
but can hear you.
I can't.
Weird connect. Maybe it's the smoke from Canada.
It's a
Yeah.
poltergeist.
Poltergeist.
It's a poltergeist.
They're here. A poltergeist. Oh, the young ones.
All right, Eric's back.
For now. All right. Well, anyway, this sucks. If it does this again, I'm gonna switch to my phone. So the Goatsnake
Probably
record.
did that, but
You guys have to keep moving so I can see if you're there now. Anyway, the Goatsnake record. I really dug it. I mean, you know, the thing was with me is I didn't like the drumming on it. And so I felt like that was holding me back. Like oh yeah, we're fucked. I'm gonna switch the.
All right, I guess he's gonna go to his phone.
I
Darin,
can't. I can't get the video, so I'm gonna X out of it. And I'm gonna start it over again.
Yeah, that's fine.
Let's see if that works.
That's fine.
yeah, it's funny around 2000 and stuff. Like I like Colony a lot by In Flames, and that's probably like modern metal. But for
That's
some
what I
reason,
tapped out.
There's something about In Flames that I really liked.
You
for
tapped out on
Colony.
Colony?
Oh, dude. I mean, that was probably the
Did you
last
like
one I
Colony?
bought. Jester Race is the
Yeah,
absolute
I love
pinnacle
Colony.
of that
I love
band.
Yeah,
Played
I
that
love
too.
that album too. Yeah, I love that.
Colony,
Like,
Colony, I liked, and I was like, And then what was next? Clayman? Was that the
Clayman,
next one?
Clayman.
that's where I didn't quite give it a chance. Like Clayman was like,
Yeah,
I'm sure it's still. I heard it's still kind of good, but I haven't even really delved into it enough. You know, like I
Yeah.
felt like they're probably starting to go in the new metal direction or something.
Yeah.
It was like I
Colony
tapped
had
out
those
with.
hints of it, and then Clayman.
Yeah.
Then I was kind of like, nah, I'm
Yeah.
done here.
Like 'cause
I tapped out with them and Reroute to Remain, the one after Clayman. That
Oh,
one
yeah,
was.
yeah.
I don't
And
even
after
know
that,
that one. I was already I was like playing Born Too Late and Doom Shall Rise at that point. You know, wasn't even
Yeah.
paying attention to them. Even though I did like Immortal, I still liked Immortal
Recording
at the
in
time, like
progress.
Sure.
stuff like that.
Friggin' Horacle. That's a great record.
Oracle's good, yeah.
I liked Oracle too.
You guys move on.
No. We're hanging out there. I can
We're just
edit
talking
this
about In
chunk out.
Flames.
I
Darin's
tried to
having
I
problems
can't
with
get
his phone.
video.
tried to
I
open this on my
cannot-
phone, but it's not working.
I'm gonna do my phone. I'm gonna try my phone.
So
Your
weird.
phone's not
Darren.
working, Eric.
Um,
Is that what you said? Your
I
phone
have
wasn't
one last
working?
phone.
hold on. It's doing this. Everything is doing it. Just, I don't know. It's just decided it didn't want to use internet. You still there?
I'm
Yeah.
still here.
I can't get even now. My video's gone. I'm trying to
Did you
get on my
try-
phone here. It just says, let's see.
Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can.
Did you try like maybe shut your internet on and off?
I did several times. It just
Yeah.
saying it's connected. I mean, because I can.
Just it's a weak
hear you,
connection though.
Yeah, and I might hit start video, and it's just circling. I'm gonna try to use this from my phone. It's asking me to copy a link. It's gonna try to sell my information. Join from the
Join from app, and the page can't be loaded. Wait a minute. Okay, I got to
ranking
install it.
table.
Recording in progress.
The boss's iPhone.
The boss. All right, I'm just going to go with this then. I've got. Let's see. Kill this. All right.
Yeah, you're gonna have to kill your laptop and just jump on.
Yeah, because it looks like it's open in several windows. Oh. Maybe I'll just do this. All right, you still there?
I'm here.
I'm on the.
Recording.
Oh my god.
Craziness tonight, man.
I know. Wow. Hello.
There we go.
It's like a Pink Floyd record.
Take it out.
Hello.
I know. I feel like I'm in the middle of a
Everybody
Pink Floyd
out
record.
there, out there, out there.
Okay, so we'll see how this works. Unfortunately, yeah, here we go. See, my notes are on my phone.
I can hear you. I can't see you though, Eric. Okay,
Oh, you can't.
The boss.
We got Darin back.
Let's see, camera. Fuck.
You're still muted though, Darin.
Boom. How about now?
Yep, I can see and hear you, bud.
You wanted to flip the camera.
Yeah, can you go
horizontal.
sideways with your camera? Uh-oh, we lost Eric again.
Is everyone else here? Hello?
Eric,
Ghost
we
shirt is
lost you
cursing
again,
us.
Am I there?
man. You're back.
Yeah.
Darin is still muted.
Something's going. I mean, it looks like I've got everything shut down except for my phone. But Darin's still muted.
Yeah, he's having some issues too.
Okay. Now?
There
There
we
you
go.
All right. You can see and hear me now?
Yep. You're
Yeah.
See and hear
All right.
you.
And me.
Eric, can you turn your phone sideways or that won't work?
Yeah, I can. Let me see. But how about now?
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, it works.
Is that better?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, cool. I'm just trying to be able to see my notes at the same time.
Oh, I got you. Sure. You do whatever.
As long as you can see me.
Yeah, you don't have to. It doesn't even
Yeah,
matter.
do whatever's easiest for you, man. I get it.
Can you see me?
I can see you.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
And I look sexy? All right, cool. Then we're good.
You look ghostly.
Yeah, I was going to put on a full sleeve shirt, but I wanted to show my Mormon shoulders. Or is that what we call it? Something like that. Like if you don't wear you can't see my spiritual protection garments. Anyway, what were we talking about? Was it metal?
I think it was.
Goatsnake. I think you were.
It was
talking about-
Goatsnake.
Yeah.
Right. So, I mean, okay. So anyway, Goatsnake was number 4 for me. I dug the record, but fortunately, I got more excited by some of the other bands with drumming. But I didn't like the production on the drums on this, and I felt like the drummer just kind of flat. And I felt like he held the riffs back. I don't know the guys in the band. Although Greg Anderson, the guitarist, right, played in the band False Liberty from Seattle punk band. And I actually played with those guys in like '86.
Oh, wow.
This is going to be a rough night, man.
Ruh-roh.
Ruh-roh.
The ghost of Greg Rogers is coming after him.
Yeah.
Lost you there.
Ghost of something.
And Greg's not even dead, so.
Yeah.
Where did we leave off?
You were talking about how much you hate Greg Rogers.
I was talking about Greg Anderson. From played in False Liberty, And I played with those guys in '86, so that was kind of cool. I didn't realize he went on to
Awesome.
do this band. Yeah, I love the song though, El Coyote. That
Oh, that's an awesome song.
Yeah.
Jesus, that song kicked my ass. I was like, where did this come from? It's
I
got
know.
like the institutionalized drum intro.
Yeah, it was
It-
amazing when that came in.
It was really cool. I was like, oh damn. And he had some there was some then the song The Dealer had like kind of some crazy falsetto type stuff, which I
That
thought
was awesome
interesting.
too. Yeah, another good
Yep.
one. Yeah,
That one. Then they lost me at Truckload of Mama's Muffins.
I
was
didn't mind
like,
that one. Yeah,
I was like, nope, not for this boy.
the name of the song is stupid, but I
It
don't
was
know.
stupid too. What stupid
Yeah.
band, stupid title name, the song
Yeah.
title is too much for me.
Yeah.
Live to Die, I thought was a pretty fun kind of rocking tune, some cool riffs, fun vocals. I just thought overall it was really a cool record, but I thought the drums made it a little plodding and uninteresting. Like there just wasn't enough cool like grooves and stuff for that style. Like that, I felt like the guitar could have been accentuated a lot more. I thought that some of the backing vocals were pretty unique. Like they hit these backing vocal parts, and I was like, "Oh wow, those are really interesting." But it wasn't enough. Like, and the bass kind of blended in. They just followed the guitar. It wasn't really didn't add much to the texture of for the style. I think you need to have more texture for me to feel like excited by it. There was moments of really coolness, and I put El Coyote on the playlist right away. It's fucking great. And then
it's a cool song.
yeah, you pick up a few things here and there, but outside of that, I was just like, well, okay, well, they're gonna have to be a number 4, and not necessarily for great reason. I think they could have easily been 3.
Fair enough.
So there we go.
Hey, Darin,
Right on.
you are up. Number 4.
Number 4 is Slough. Yeah, this is kind of a tricky one for me. I think Angelo watches the channel. So
He wasn't on this album.
no, but he's in the band.
Yeah.
And I wish it was Cold Morning. I wish Cold Morning was one of our picks, but it didn't come out in 2000. So Slough it is. I think I like them. Twilight of the Idols and probably is, or maybe The Traveler is my favorite. If not Traveler, then Twilight of the Idols. You got to be in the mood, and what you hear in the first 30 seconds is pretty much what you're going to be listening to for the next 40 minutes.
True.
And if you're into that, that's great. And there have been times when I was really into it and I was really, really digging it. It's taking the concept of the maiden gallop and making it a genre, which is kind of weird, but it works most of the time. Traditional metal, I guess, in a unique way. There's some Thin Lizzy in there, and if you've ever seen Slough, you know that the times that we played with them and saw them, they did Sha-la-la-la-la. Is that right? Sha-la-la-la-la.
Yeah, they do that one.
Yeah.
I've seen them play That Woman's Gonna Break Your Heart, too.
Okay.
Nice.
We played with them twice. Once was in LA with Falcon, and they were super cool. Adrian was really funny, the bass player. Scalzi was hilarious. He had so much personality. They were really fun to play with, and I really enjoyed them live. They were just on fire. The second time was years later with Pale Divine. We played with them in Baltimore, and it was like somebody turned on a switch. Scalzi was kind of a douchebag, actually. I don't mind saying. And that kind of, it's like, I wish this wasn't the case, but it sort of was. It was funny because so Dana said to him, "Hey man, I really dug the set, man. You guys sounded great." He's like, "Oh yeah, prove it." He pointed to the merch table. He's like, "Buy something." Like,
oh my God!
Whoa!
Wow.
Take it easy, killer.
A little ballsy.
Yeah, it was pretty ballsy.
Was it a joke?
It was funny. It was funny because it was so ballsy. But I won't hold that against. It might have been an off night. But I mean, they killed it. They crushed it that night. And they've always had a different drummer. I mean, every time I've seen them or play with them. They had a different drummer, and the guy that they had on this particular night on the second time in Baltimore was really good. And the guy that they had in LA, he was really good too. I mean, I don't think they can. I think obviously they choose somebody who knows their shit. But I mean, they were on fire both times, so I really like them live. And I think that if you do have a hard time getting into Slough, it probably maybe you should see them live first and get the live experience, and then I mean. The records don't hold up to the live performance, but you might like the live performance so much that you appreciate the recordings more, if that makes any sense.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's in this ranking, it falls at number 4 for me because there's other things that I would listen to before I listen to this particular one, and so that's why it's at number 4.
Right. All right.
Makes sense.
Okay, John.
Sounds good to me.
To you for number 4.
Number 4. What is my number 4? Goatsnake, Flower of Disease. Because, okay, you know what's cool about it is that this calls back to a time in the early Oregon days, you know, when Epicurean Mass before it came out, and like a lot of the Doom that was coming out at the time, and how Doom sounded in this period of time, you know, and there was a lot of stoner stuff too. This obviously has stoner elements to it. But I mean, there is something when you listen to this, and even the Internal Void, which I'll get to at some point, but it just has that sort of sound that kind of brings you back to a time period, you know, at least in the formation of our band, that, you know, it's like this is basically like what you would call like a vibe of how I felt when I was younger, you know, listening to some of these low-tuned heavy guitars, you know. The first Epicurean Mass, I mean, our album was like in B. I don't know what these guys are tuned to here, maybe C sharp, and they might have been a little bit lower, but you know what I mean? It just has that sound that was happening. But I will say, the reason why I ranked them this low is because I thought the vocals were kind of boring. The lyrics were kind of stupid at first. I don't know. I think there's a lot of cool riffs and parts and stuff, but then around the middle of the album, as Eric was saying, like El Coyote and The Dealer, and I did like the Truckload of Mama's Muffins, even though I thought it was going to be stupid. I actually ended up liking it more than I thought I was. And I had only had Dog Days back then, believe it or not. I never had this album back then. And this is their second album, right? I think, fully. So I by the middle of the whole second half of the album actually is awesome. Like, I love it. It was actually, I mean, I love it, but I think it's something I would listen to in the background and, you know, rock out to just have some heavy sounds. And I actually liked it more than I thought I was. And yeah, Greg Anderson playing there. We did play Origin played a show with Sun one time. There's my story with Greg Anderson and Stephen O'Malley. We were hanging out with them talking about music in the back room and stuff. And he was obviously more from a punk background. I don't think he even liked Iron Maiden or anything like that, because we were talking about metal and all that stuff. And what else happened? I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I generally like the album. And Southern Lord obviously was definitely a pretty well-known label at the time. And when our first album came out, I remember they would sell. Greg Anderson said that they were selling out of Epicurean Mass, and he had to restock them. And he was always looking for bands. I think at the time he was looking for bands that had clean vocals that played in that heavy style, almost like, you know, I don't know if it's when like Electric Wizard and Warhorse were around. Warhorse was on their label, but yeah, I think I'm talking too much. Anybody want to put in any 2 cents with that?
No, I mean,
I'll get to that.
If you don't mind, I'll just slide over because
I don't really have much else to say. I do like it. I mean, the second half on, the vocals started getting better. Like the falsetto started happening. Yeah. I don't know if is it all the same singer too? Because it's
Pete Stahl.
Pete Stahl.
In the beginning, I just couldn't get into the vocals for some reason. Then it just somehow clicked halfway in. Yeah. I was like, oh, that's actually pretty cool.
Yeah,
I agree.
So yeah, that's all I gotta say.
That's my number 4 album too. And I gotta say, for my number 3, these were like super. Well, actually, my last four here are really tight, but
Mhm.
between 4 and 3 were like really, really tight. And if we did this tomorrow, I might have them flip. But yeah, Goatsnake was my number 4, and I remember when this came out too because I had my CD record thing going on at the time in the store, and this hit like a ton of bricks. I was just like, whoa, the tone of Anderson is probably the centerpiece of the whole album, man, because it's just so
Yeah.
that distorted thick goodness just hit me so hard. I was like, this is just it's an enjoyable listen. um and I couldn't get enough of it. And I think Pete Stahl just nails the lyrics, whether you read the lyrics for context or it's just part of the song. I think he did a fantastic job. I like that there's a little bit of that bluesy stuff infused,
Yeah.
in there.
Harmonica playing was awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's what makes this album so good. It's got that variety or diversity, however you want to put it. Because I kind of made those notes that the harmonica in "Live to Die" gives it, that identity. That lap steel guitar in "Easy Greasy" is great, and the violin on "The River." It gives you so much more added elements to make that listening experience like top notch. So I really, really love that album. And again, because we do this show, I hadn't played this in forever. So out of these 5, I probably listened to this one the most, just remembering, like you said, John, it kind of takes you back to that time frame. It's that little bit of a time machine, but really, really, really good album. I enjoyed this one a lot. And being at number 4 is not, putting it down like, oh, it wasn't that good if it's at number 4.
Yeah.
My last 4 are like really tight altogether, but yeah, Goatsnake lands at 4 for me.
Right on.
Oh,
Okay, Butch.
consensus.
Goatsnake lands at 3 for me. Man, at the time that this record came out, I actually liked it more than the debut, but also at the same time, I kind of had like a bug up my ass about Goatsnake. I don't know what it was. Part of it was I was a little bit more immature then. We're talking like 26 years ago, and my time at Penance, that was the first time I was in a band that got in any newsprint outside of my hometown or anything like that. So it was kind of like, I don't know, it was kind of like it was a big deal for me back. I was still learning like a lot of shit about how to present myself, and I wore stupid shit half the time, and I would get like I was still getting used to reviews and stuff, so I'd get pissed off if someone said something bad about, and I was like real like competitive in a way. I think not if I knew you, like if I was if I was friends with you, like I would love your band, but if I didn't know you or I met you and you were kind of a dick, like I was like more predisposed to be like, that fucking band's overrated, and I think with Goatsnake, like it was a combination of we had done a demo and I sent it to Greg. I talked to Greg through email, and it wasn't like he wasn't cool or anything like that. It wasn't nice, but I sent him the Penance
demo. He had
demo.
a presence early on in those days.
He's just like he seemed interested when he heard the Penance had was doing something, and then we sent him the demo, and he's like, nah. He's like, it's not my kind of doom, or something. Was something like that was his thing. So then it was like between that sticking in my craw and them kind of like some of these bands, Goatsnake came out and kind of got like this push from. So I would get like I'm not I'll fucking admit it, like I'm as susceptible to jealousy and the green-eyed monster as anyone else. So I just like it was that time in my life for me. It's like not so much like that now, although it could still be like that sometimes. But it was a combination of those. Their first record came out, and I was kind of like, it's cool. Like I wanted to like it more than I did, but I didn't. And I also had like that, piece of glass stuck under my fingernail about them.
You couldn't quite take it in the way.
But the second this Flower Disease came out, I thought, oh, shit, that's a lot better than the first one. But I still didn't love it. Like there was something for me about them at the time that it was like a little bit more. I felt like it was a little bit more substance than flip that, reverse it.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Style over substance at the time. Like, I like Pete Stahl's voice a lot, and one of the things I like about Goatsnake is they got a guy who didn't come from like a metal background. You know, they got a dude from like a punk background and put him in the band, and he has this really melodic voice. So it's cool what he did over top of the riffs. I just thought at the time, like, the riffs were kind of like, I've heard this. Like I said before, I was listening to Spirit Caravan, and I liked Pale Divine, and I liked Internal Void, and I liked what we were doing in Penance, and I liked, bands like that. And it's not that I totally, I like Lost Crusades and Solace, and there was all kind of shit coming out that I thought was cool. And Goatsnake, just for whatever reason, they didn't catch me, but they're one of those bands, like, as the years went on, and now I'm spacing on the name of the most recent studio record they did. What's the fucking one with like the church on the front? It's something.
I know. I can't remember the name of it, but I have it. I don't remember the name of it. It has a church. Cool looking album cover, but yeah. And that came out like 2016 or something, didn't it? Or was it?
16,
might have been
17, right around there.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, let me see. Black Age Blues. That's it. I always want to say Black Bart, but that's not. It's Black Age Blues.
Iron Maiden.
And I really like that. It caught me. So then I went back, like, and listened to the first one again, and I thought, oh, it's catching me better now. I remember them. I think the first time I actually heard Goatsnake was probably on a comp, because I remember them doing a cover of Hot Rod, and it was on one of those comps, like the Rise Above comp, or one of those that had that
Rise 13 or
Rise
something.
13 maybe, and it had that little spoken word intro where they're talking about Sean Lane and going to see him and Molly Hatchet, and before they went into the Black Oak song, or not Molly Hatchet, Black Oak, Arkansas. Anyway, when this came up, I had almost picked Flower Disease, because for whatever reason I'd been like revisiting it, and Darin picked it, and I really just found myself really enjoying it now. I'm a little bit more grown up now, and I'm not as prone to having a hissy fit over some other band being more successful than me. But I don't know what it was back then. Like I just didn't feel. I felt like the riffs weren't as catchy. Although now, like, the songs, like, I think there's something about the way Stahl's voice works with. Even when it's not like the catchiest riff, like just the way that melodic voice works with that big, heavy guitar tone on those songs just really works for me. A lot of this record, I think, is cool. I like the title track a lot. I love that chorus and Prayer for a Dying, that kind of like the way that the rhythm of that. I just love the way Stahl sings that. I'm with you guys on El Coyote and The Dealer. I like A Truckload of Mama's Muffins. The River's cool. Like, I think the whole album is really good. And I do think Black Age Blues is still probably my favorite, but I think this one is not far behind it. I think it was definitely a big step up from the first one. And I don't know. Yeah, for me, it's like, again, I almost had this at number 2. At one point, I almost had it at number 1. But it came down a couple of nostalgic factors for me for the other two. Yeah. So Goatsnake for me is number 3. I think it's a great record. It's on the vaunted list of must reacquire.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
They had a newer song that came out a few years ago or something. It sounded really good. They had a lot of diversity in the riffs, which I thought was cool.
Oh, cool.
I think that Black Age Blues album is really good. Like, it has a lot of cool shit going on in that record. It's heavy, and I just think the songwriting on there is a bit notched up compared to where they started.
Yeah.
I have to go back and listen to that one again, because that one didn't land with me as well as Flower of Disease did. So now that we're discussing it, I'm going to have to go back and check it out.
I feel like it came out in the same year too as the Blood Farmers last record too, and I remember loving both those records when those came out. Like fucking Headless Eyes. And
That was crazy good.
Anyway, that's my number 3.
Eric, your number 3.
No, well, hopefully I don't cut out. I got most of the Butch's stuff there. It's cutting out off and on. You still there?
Yeah,
Eric caught
cool.
caught the part where I was like, I'm a little bitch.
Yeah. He's like, I caught it right when you were talking shit about me. I'm with you on all the envy, man. It's been like that since 86 or something.
I try, man. I try. God help me. I try every day.
It's a brutal thing. You try not to. I mean, it's crazy. But anyhow, now that I'm going through all this with you guys, I mean, number 3 for me was King Diamond, House of God, and I really feel like that should have been number 4. Now, he got a pass because it's King Diamond, and so, but really, the Goatsnake album is better. It's actually a lot better. I'd have to say. This album bummed me out. I remember listening to it when it came out and just kind of went, put it aside. And now I kind of know why. I had to read up on it. I saw that they had some new musicians in there. Clearly the playing is good, but it felt so middle of the road, King Diamond. Like someone mentioned, a little bit of phoned inness to it. But you're cutting out again, but hopefully you hear me.
We do.
Okay, cool. I'll just keep rocking in the free world, semi-free world then.
Keep on rocking in the free world.
Semi-free world, yeah. All right, yeah. So I mean, is so many things caught me. Like I felt like his lyrical approach was almost emo. Like when the emo bands are like they sing about it's all exposition. Like I went down to the store and I got some milk, and then I saw that you outside the store, and and they just put it into a melody, and it sounds like hot garbage. And I felt like he was doing that a lot. Like, what's that?
You might have been taking cues from Cradle of Filth. Some of the songs kind of sound like a Cradle of Filth song, but just with his vocals.
Yeah, there's a bit of that. I mean, yeah, but for me, I think it's just, to me, it's the difference between, I think King Diamond, for me, a lot of times, other than his first couple of records, a lot of it sounds like a musical audiobook, compared to Mercyful Fate, which is like, the blood that keeps me, fucking moving. Like like Mercyful Fate really can't do any wrong with me. And I felt like some of the songs felt like outtakes from the 9 album, that with horribly constructed vocal arrangements, just lacking any of the oomph or the I give a shit. I actually remember which one of you guys said didn't like Follow the Wolf. I actually thought that was the best song on the record, but it still wasn't great. He does a lot of the 16th note double bass thing, and with the little dig it over that. Like, man, it gets old after fucking 9 songs of that or whatever, But I just, I think John mentioned Black Devil as being not great. Was it John, or was it
that was
Butch?
me?
Butch, yeah, Butch. I wrote actually, Black Devil. What do you see when you're looking at me? Like that. I was like, meh. It's like, it just like, what was that lyric? That's King Diamond, Black Devil. What do you see when you're looking at me? I mean, fucking Snoresville. So yeah.
Gotta take it in context of that whole story, though, too. I'll get to that later.
I can't follow the stories. Those stories bore me. They're just not good. They're okay. I mean, like, just the early stuff, sure, but I don't know, man. King Diamond is the master. I just don't know that those records. Yeah, this one just feels like Hot Topic King Diamond or something. It's just not. That's it.
Some of his
Number
vocals
3,
sounded
and
like, yeah. Go ahead.
I'm going to officially go on record and say it should have been number 4, and Goatsnake's number 3, but we'll just lock it in here and move
I was going to
forward.
say, if you took the numbers off of your reviews and just had the audio and let people guess where you ranked them, this would have been your number 5.
Number 5. Yeah. It just, but again, it gets a pass because it's King Diamond. The vocals are great. He sings great. The band all plays great. It sounds like King Diamond. You know what it sounds like now that I'm thinking about it? Have you guys heard that somebody put online like an AI generated King Diamond album?
Oh God.
Oh yeah.
It's like that. It's like AI took everything King Diamond did and said, "I'll make a record for you," and it's hot shit.
Some of his vocals kind of sounded like what the guy from Ghost sounds like now. Like there's certain mellower ways he was singing that were like almost like a quieter version of his voice on there.
Yeah, it was a big stylistic change on this album in a lot of ways. Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like the metal version of a Ziploc bag of hot broccoli.
Right.
Well, I guess you're not alone in that opinion, because I'm just going to save all my commentary for later.
Okay, go for it.
Chop a broccoli.
Exactly.
All right, Darin, you got number 3.
Number 3 is Goatsnake, Flower of Disease, which was my pick, but it falls at number 3. Butch, I got to give you a lot of credit. I love everything you said. As far as where you were at the time that this album came out, I feel the same way, and Eric said he did too. Or you have those feelings. At that time, it seemed like Penance and all Solace, Internal Void, Spirit Caravan. To me that those were our our contemporaries and the bands that we played with and that we admired and we respected. And then it seemed like Goatsnake kind of came out of nowhere, really, with dudes that didn't really have the background or the pedigree necessarily, but wanted to call themselves Doom, and sort of went from being punk rock to playing like Black Sabbath, and made a Doom record, or became a Doom band. Now, of course, we had Guy and we had Greg Rogers. Guy Pinhas, is that how you say it? Pinhas?
Yeah.
You got to say that one slow.
Yeah.
And Greg Rogers, I mean, I saw him with the Obsessed. I mean, that was the lineup. That to me is the pinnacle. Is it the pinnacle? Nah, I'm using that in the wrong context. Yeah, the pinnacle. The pinnacle of the Obsessed was that lineup of Greg Rogers, Guy, and Wino, of course. So when they were in this band, I thought, wow, this is going to be phenomenal. And I was not really, I was underwhelmed by it, but I thought the guitar was like, it sounded, wow, it was like really thick, heavy. I mean, it's all about the guitar tone. Mm-hmm. But the thing that kind of interfered with it was I didn't feel like they were really like a Doom band. I didn't know what they were. They were stoner rock, and I felt like at that particular point in time, stoner rock was really intrusive to where we were as Doom bands and what we were trying to do and where we were moving. And then the stoner rock thing was being confused for Doom, or was being called Doom, was kind of intrusive into the Doom scene, and I resented it. I didn't think that it belonged, and that was an obstacle. Even though the album was good, even though the band is good, there's things that overshadowed my enjoyment of the record, and they're not really important, but they were to me at the time. At least they were in so far that it interfered with my enjoyment of it. But so many years removed from that, listening to it now and not giving a shit about any of that crap now, and listening to it for what it is, I'm like, this is fucking killer, man. This is good. This is heavy. I dig Pete's vocals. I didn't at the time. I thought, like, this dude can't sing. He sounds like shit. But he can sing, and he actually has a good voice. And I like that they picked a singer like him, and he seems like a cool guy. I mean, I've read interviews with him and stuff like that, and he seems pretty down to earth. He does kind of have a punk aesthetic in a good way. And so he seems pretty cool. I like that his voice is different. It's not what you would expect. It does work well with the music, and it gives them their own identity, and I appreciate that. It makes them stand out. And I really enjoy all their stuff now. I so far removed from all that other static, all that other noise from 2000. Yeah, I mean, I dig them. So this particular record, because it came out in 2000, it's about the middle of the road for me in the ranking. It falls at number 3. So.
Hell yeah.
Sounds good. All right, John.
All right. My number 3 is going to be Internal Void Unearthed. And yeah, it's like interesting how what I was talking about with Goatsnake, how, you know, in some ways it's like it had a similar vibe where it brings me back to that era when there's all these heavy riffs. And the reason why Internal Void won is because their tone was better than Greg Anderson's. Like, I felt like this album all the way through, just, I almost was thinking of putting this as number 2, maybe even number 1, just because I enjoyed it so much. And I never actually bought this album back then. So I was a little surprised by it. It was just like the type of album that it was a missing link to all the other stuff that I was getting in the early 2000s that were Doom, like, you know, Pale Divine and Penance and all that stuff. And I love the first song. I love, you know, with Apache Blood. I like Beyond Anger because they totally are just influenced by 21st Century Schizoid Man by King Crimson. Did you notice that?
I didn't catch that.
Yeah,
No,
I
I
don't
didn't
know,
know.
man. You listen to it again. Trust me. There's like, when they go into that part, it sounds a lot like the King Crimson song, which is awesome because they could tell they were doing like an ode to it. And After the Storm, the straight cover was really cool. Actually, I didn't even realize that was a straight cover, and that was actually one of my favorite songs on the album.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like the album a lot. Too Far Gone's awesome. Everything's really catchy. Sometimes the spoken word stuff, like, you know, when Butch does his spoken word, like, it's like non-screamy vocals, like, it kind of reminded me of Butch and Penance a little bit at times, even though when he's normally singing, it's like a little different, you know, but so it totally fits into the realm of thought that I was in before Epicurean Mass came out. And this would have been a top album for me at the time if I had bought it. And we got to play with them a couple times. I think I played with them with Mike Smale on drums, and it was awesome. And I remember Bobby Liebling in the front row yelling to Mike Smale and stuff. And I think that was at the Declaration of Doom or something. I don't know. Is that one of the fests we played? But you were probably there, right?
That was that Born
to Be Doomed?
Born to Be
Doomed. No, it was the
Doomed.
Declaration. It might have been the first one.
It was the first one, and down in Baltimore there, and it was during Penance's set. Bobby was sitting on the steps yelling down at Mike.
Oh, that was when you guys were playing. Okay, but I did play with them at the Templars at Doom. Internal Void played. Yeah, that Mike Smale was on drums for that one.
Yeah, Mike played with them for a while.
Yeah.
That was the second Templars, right? That was that?
Yeah, I think so.
Right? That sounds about right.
Was Debris Incorporated at that one?
Yeah, they were.
And
that was it wasn't at the Melody Inn, it was at that other place. I can't remember the name of it now.
Yeah, it was like a bigger
hall type kind of place. Yeah.
No, that wasn't with, no. I don't know, I'm getting confused now. No, that wasn't with Reverend Bizarre. That was another time. But no, I love this album. It's freaking awesome. Like, I'm gonna be jamming this a lot. Yeah, I love the guitar player Kelly Carmichael.
Yeah.
Dude's awesome, man. Good. I like the vocals. I like the drumming. You know, totally like, this is like 70s influenced freaking rock and roll Doom.
Yeah.
It's just awesome. Like, I think I don't know. I can't say anything more about it. It's just amazing.
Well, I can talk more about it.
Yeah.
Like I said, these were super interchangeable, but yeah, number 3 is absolutely Internal Void. You kind of covered pretty much all of it, John. But I think what you nailed it on is, there's those handful, and you guys know this better than me because you guys are closer to the area and we're well into that scene. But there's the handful of the Maryland bands, and I think Internal Void was absolutely one of the pillars of that, however you want to put it. But I think what really did it for me is exactly what you said, John, is their doom, but they had that really awesome 70s rock vibe to them that just put them up and over. And the more I listened to it, and I listened to the shit out of that album when it came out too. And another thing that really grabbed me on that, because I was like really into Spirit Caravan at the time, because they, I think Jugful of Sun preceded this one just by like a year or so. But I swear, I feel like Carmichael's tone is very similar to Wino on this album, and I love that tone. But for me, it was like even better with Internal Void, and I rocked the shit out of this album like nonstop in the shop.
Good production. That album production is awesome.
So good, yeah, so clean, so clarity wise balanced. So,
is that Chris Krasowski?
Yeah, it's Chris Kozlowski.
Wow, that was so good.
Yeah, those dudes were his boys, man. I mean,
they were.
And Darin knows from working with Chris, I think that, when we worked with him, like he would you'd go and record with him, but I'd get calls from him, during the week and stuff, and he'd be like, "Oh, just the bullshit." But he'd start talking to me about things. He would be doing stuff on his own, like in between. He's like, "I'm not happy with the way this sounds. I'm working on this and that." So
that's awesome.
I know he and Adam were tight for a while, and so he was real important to that scene at the time, and I think that production he got with them for sure is like,
yeah. The thing that got me too is I didn't hear the album in 93, but I had heard Standing on the Sun, and I was like, yeah, that's cool, whatever. But I didn't realize there was like an 8-year gap there until this came out, and I was like, holy cow, man, these guys have really fine-tuned things during that time period. Because I just was repeatedly blown away with every single listen. It's super tight, it's cohesive. I think it's very thoughtful, if that's a word. But you mentioned Too Far Gone, John. I think with Apache Blood is fantastic. Blindside. And the other thing too, I mean, this album's almost an hour long, but it goes by like that. There's no lulls or like where you're like, okay, how many more songs have I got to go? You just you put this on and you enjoy the ride for almost an hour. So that speaks to how good it is.
Mm-hmm.
So yep. So that's my number 3, Internal Void.
Cool.
Nice.
You're on number 2, Butch.
Number 2 for me is Slough, Down Among the Dead Men. I'm a huge Lord Weird Slough stan. They're so, first of all, we all know that I'm a sucker for the double guitar bands that do the double guitar shit well. That use harmonies, especially when the harmonies are like in the vein of like Thin Lizzy or Maiden. That Irish lilt to some of the harmonies and stuff. Like, I just love that. I eat that shit up, and I love Scalzi's voice and his approach. It's so different and unique for, that whole. If you compare it with like, there was a time period where true metal, like this stuff that they're calling the new wave of true heavy metal now, like there was a time period where there were only like, it seemed like there were only a few bands like kind of waving that banner other than the established bands that were still...
Twisted Tower Dire.
Yeah, it was like Twisted Tower Dire and Slough, and there were a few other ones in there too, but like if you compare like the vocals, like some of these bands now, like you could take like your Tail Gunners and your, what's that band with the Pegasus is on their Wings of Steel, and I'm not saying that stuff is bad or whatever, but a lot of that shit is kind of like
more template. it's
interchangeable.
Like not,
The vocals are kind of like the same, like, and I feel like Mike just like sticks out. Like no one sounds like him. He has his own thing going on. Like he's not concerned with like doing like all these acrobatics. He like lets his unique tone come through, the way that he tells stories, and that is his medium for that, instead of like trying to like be like Bruce Dickinson and hit like a zillion notes out of the box or whatever. He's a great guitar player. I think he's a good songwriter, or thoughtful songwriter. The parts that those dudes come up with over the years, not every album is a 10-star record, but I just love the band. Like overall, like I could listen to, pull any one of those records off the shelf at any time and put it on and enjoy it. Down Among the Dead Men, if I were going to rank Slowfag records, it'd probably be in the, the bottom half. But that being said, they've been one of my favorite bands from this, scene over the years. Like I just something, it just really appeals to me. Ever since I heard, I think it was Angelo that turned me on to them. I was talking to him, and he had me check out Atavism, which is the first record that he plays on, I believe, and or at least he joined the band around that time. I'm pretty sure he plays on that though. But that record, like right from the get-go, there's a song in there called "I Will Kill You, You Will Die" that they still haven't played live, as far as I know. That is just unbelievable, and
that's the record I liked.
There are so many good songs in their catalog, and like they're just like their records are like, I like when a new one comes out, I'm excited and I get it, and most of the time it's like I listen to it the first time and I'm like, that's cool, and I know it's going to take repeated listens like before it starts kind of like, sometimes it's like way down the road. Like Ape Uprising came out, it took me like a long time to like fully get into that record.
Production's like, different sometimes. It's like,
just like the some of the songwriting twists and turns they take, and they had that whole section in the middle that was kind of like almost like a suite of songs that was cool. But I was like trying to catch on to it, and like this early on, they weren't quite into with Travelers, where they started like really doing the occasional like foray into conceptual kind of thing. So I like the record. There's some, we're also going to hear like hurrah, like I just like Mike just has this, the way he sings, like it just, he has unusual vocal lines and stuff that if you put some of these songs and gave them to like another singer, like I'd come up with the most normal stuff compared to what I'd be like, how the fuck did Mike come up, he's from
different phrasing.
He's from somewhere else. Like, so yeah, I like the record a lot. It was tough for me to sort between them, but they're one of my favorites. So number 2 for me.
Cool. All right, Eric.
Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Yeah.
Can hear you.
All right, cool. I didn't know. That's good. I don't know what's going on the screen, but
it's
that's
goes
cool.
to Papa Emeritus.
Yeah, exactly. God damn it, Tobias Forge, you're fucking me over. Number 2, we're at. So Internal Void, another band I didn't know. So number 2, that surprised me, and they're one of those bands that like I just didn't know where they were gonna fall. And the more I listened to that record, like, you guys familiar with The Accused from Seattle?
Oh yeah.
Well, first of all, I'm sure most of you guys are for sure. Darin, you were talking about the stoner and doom thing and like bands coming out of the punk rock scene. You were saying it. Correct. Do you put this band in that category?
A little bit. There is a punk aesthetic going on, and some of the earlier material had a couple punkish songs. So yeah, I mean, there is not in the same way that there was with Goatsnake. I think that it's different. But I mean, I'll talk about that when it's my turn. But yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, there is.
To me, like I was just like, wow, remember that time when Blaine from The Accused sang for Black Sabbath? and that was my like immediate takeaway on this record. I'm like, the vocals sound a lot like Blaine from the Accused, who I love, but I was like, wow, the vocals sound very unique for this style of music. Anyone with me on that, or am I?
Yep.
JD had a good
Yep.
voice.
It also just gave a little Mike Patton on the Raging Wrath of the Easter Bunny demo, like, which also sounded like Blaine from the Accused. Just had this kind of cool, shrilly punk rock aesthetic to it that I was like, I fucking dig it. I mean, with Apache Blood, I was like, with that title, I'm like, I knew exactly what I'm in for just by reading the title. Like, okay, this is going to be some kind of a stoner doom thing. Not to insult you by putting those two together, but but anyway, I like that song. I loved right away. I immediately was grabbed by the drumming, the use of ghost notes, and that Sabbathy feel playing on the backbeat, and whereas I didn't get that from the other dudes. Like just yeah, this was it felt, I love great drumming, and I just felt like the drums were fucking totally driving that everything, and the guitar tone is insanely great. I mean, they use a lot of different elements that in a really cool way. I dug when they busted out like the rotating Leslie type tone, and there was just some very cool elements in there. I love how the vocals juxtaposed how Sabbathy they were to me, because a lot of times I'm like, I felt like they were going a little too into like Sabbath riffs, almost note for note at times. And I could be wrong about that, but that was kind of my knee jerk reaction. But I loved how the vocals kind of balanced with that. um, Sorry, at times, and like Beyond Anger, I thought was an even better song than with Apache Blood. It was like really heavy vocals, heavy riffs. It was cool. Whereas like then they did the Seek the Truth. You can sing Symptom of the Universe over the top of it.
Oh, I know, yeah.
And not miss a note. It's just, however, the punk rock chorus in it is fucking cool as hell. And it was, and all the vocals are punkish. So I'm like, instead of doing like a monotony, drony, predictable thing, the vocals kept it super interesting, where I'm like, whoa, I was singing Symptom of the Universe over it, but he's singing something completely different. I'm like, I love that his imagination, that his creativity took him in that direction, and that they put a fucking punk rock chorus on, and the lead. It was really a twisted, little diminished lead thing. Was fucking way cool. Yeah. Any thoughts on that one?
Yeah, I agree. I thought that sounded like Symptom of the Universe. There's also even one of an Ordred song, Burn the Witch, that hits a similar note structure, but it's probably just because it comes from Symptom of the Universe. But I also like their harmonies too, in like Apache Blood when they're doing a harmony. Then they go into the power chord version, but the way they transition with their melodies and back into like the power chords, it's like it's so melodious too. It's very I don't know. It just sounds awesome the way they pull it off, and maybe it's the drummer that makes them that good.
Well, I think he really drives it. I mean, we all know, like, the drummer makes the band, really. I mean, without a great drummer, I mean, you're only as good as your drummer. I think a lot of people say, at least in music production, like, yeah, you're only as good as your drummer. I mean, a weak drummer is going to pull you back several steps. Anyway, some of the songs didn't hit for me. By the time they got to the Thoughts of Misconception, and a bit of a jam. I didn't like that kind of hippie jam. I don't like the hippie jam stuff much. Sounding stuff. And it got a little Sabbathy, and actually, I like they kind of brought it back with the song Blindside, which was cool, but it actually gave a little kind of Seattle Flannel era vibe for me, which it was still a cool song, but I was kind of like, well, I could hear a Seattle band, maybe Mudhoney would do that or something. I don't know. And then they went into like After the Storm. I was like a Stevie Ray Vaughan kind of white boy funky thing with a really predictable ostinato on the drums. And then I really liked Closure. Kind of gave me a Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young acoustic kind of thing or whatever. It's just fun. And but I think if they lost like maybe 20% of the Sabbath and just leaned into what they were really good at, that album would have been even better. But I think of all the records in here that this is definitely gonna be the one I want to get a copy of, because I really dig the album. Is a cool find, and and listen to more of their stuff. So that was my number 2.
Sounds good. All right, Darin.
Number 2 for me, Internal Void. Yeah, this is a no-brainer. In fact, at one point it was number 1. Wow, Internal Void. When you talk about the Maryland doom scene, and for a while that was a thing, and that had some significance in the music scene, I think, for maybe a nanosecond, maybe not so much anymore. They were the best, in my opinion. I think they were the best. They, you can listen to them and you could point out all the great things that they do on their records, but when you see them live, they were incredible band. Everybody was, even with Smale on drums. So, I mean, Smale's an awesome drummer. So, I mean, but Ronnie, he was such a great drummer, when he just worked so well in that band. Adam, the bass player, Adam Heinzman, great bass player, just kind of a laid back, but just a really solid player. Kelly, of course, his tone, very inspired by 70s proto metal, hard rock. You could hear the Captain Beyond.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you could definitely hear the Sabbath. They actually gave Pale Divine our first show in Maryland, and I'd seen them in Wheaton, Maryland. I went down and saw them with Shine, which was Free Spirit Caravan, and that show just blew my world apart. I'm like, holy fuck. I mean, I expected them to be good, but I mean, it was like top-notch, professional in every aspect. I mean, stage presence, playing. It was just an amazing show, and from that point on, I'm like, Maryland is the place to be. This is where the music's at. This is what's happening, and every opportunity that I had to go down there, which is not too far, but 2.5 hours and something, but we ended up playing down there a lot too, and kind of making it more of our home than where we were actually from. People, the bands were really cool. Internal Void was super cool. Like I said, we had our first show in Maryland. But as far as this album goes, so my first exposure in and around that time was Standing on the Sun, which was the first album. I really liked it. There was so many cool things going on in it. And then they put out a couple demos. They had a 95 demo, which was really good. And then the demo after that, Window to Hell, which came out before this album, that blew me away. Even the production, it's produced by Chris Kozlowski, the same guy that produced this album. And the demo was great. It was only, I think, maybe like 6 songs or something. But I love that. And when this came out, I was just a little bit disappointed that it didn't sound more like that the vibe wasn't more like that. It sounds great, but I think it could have been better. I think the production could have been just a little bit better. Maybe Chris overthought it. I don't know. But such as it is, it's a great album. There's so much going on in it. I think this band should have been bigger. I think if there was one band to break out of that little scene in Maryland and be recognized for just being great musicians and having something unique to offer in music, there's the retro element, but the way that they put it all together, I think was relevant to just good music. I think they should have been more successful. Maybe the fact that they didn't tour, they didn't really play out of their area at all, I don't think. They went over to Europe once, but that was much later. But for those that were able to see them and be a part of that experience, it was really, really special. And Eternal Void, one of my favorite doom bands. All the guys, we became friends with. all super cool. So I guess I'm a little bit biased, but to take myself away from that and just listen to the album, it's great. The Stray cover, I mean, most people don't even know who Stray is. The fact that they chose that song, the cover, and put it on their album, I think that's really cool. I heard it live before I heard this. I was a little disappointed by the studio version because the live version just absolutely blew me away.
Yeah, it smoked
It
when
was
they
just
play that song live.
so awesome. I mean, that band, I mean, I just can't emphasize enough how tight they were. And I've heard that people didn't like the vocals, but when you see them live, and JD was such a great frontman, he knew when to interact with the crowd. He was very expressive. But when the band were jamming or there was an extended musical segment, he would just kind of stand off to the side, let the band jam. His lyrics are great. His voice may be an acquired taste, but it was all part of it. I mean, it's it's the internal void experience, and I liked I loved everything about him. I'm sad that they're not doing it anymore. Yeah. So, but
the
yeah, I
vocals
mean,
that make the band.
yeah. I mean, it gives them a different personality, especially in the doom scene. You know, I mean, a lot of the doom bands are maybe trying to sound like Ozzy, or I don't know, maybe like trying to sound like Wino a little bit, and maybe that's what JD was going for. But he kind of sounds like no one else, and it gave the band a lot of their personality. Yeah, like I said, I mean, I think they should have, in a perfect world, I think they would have been a lot more successful, and I wish more people appreciated them. Maybe if everybody had seen them live, and maybe if everybody, the whole world, they had they streamed it live or something, the whole world could have seen what I saw in the times that I saw them live. Maybe the whole world would have fallen in love with them. People into heavy rock and heavy metal anyway, but it's unfortunately not the case. But
jealous of that. That's cool.
Yeah. So number
That's
two,
awesome.
definitely number two for me is Internal Void. Very, very special band for me.
Cool.
That's killer.
Yeah.
All right, John, what you got for number two?
My number two is Lord Weird Slowfag, Down Among the Dead Men. Yeah, I just love the style of band. This is like right up my alley. I grew up loving Maiden. I mean, besides Sabbath, but Maiden, Sabbath, and Priest, 70s Priest, Sabbath and Maiden, and just twin harmonies from Maiden were such a big influence in my playing and my style. And when I first heard about this band was in the early 2000s when I met Ron Bowerly, Metal Ron, who used to do a radio show, Sundeath Overtime in Rochester at the local college, RIT. And as I got to know him, I don't know, somehow he's just like, oh, check out this band, Lord Weird Slowfag. And it's like, they're kind of like Maiden and all this stuff. And when he put him on, I was like, holy shit, this is amazing. Because at the time, there was nothing, metal wasn't really, there wasn't a lot of like traditional throwback bands at that time. And this seemed like I was getting into also like some of the Scandinavian bands that were death metal that were infusing like harmonies, like you have In Flames and Dark Tranquility or whatever. But it's like to hear like a more true to form, early Maiden-esque, Diano era, whatever type Maiden band with that raw production of like the first album, but maybe even a little better. It definitely stood out. It was just nothing like what was going on. And, nu metal was popular at the time. And I was like 22 years old and I hated that music. And this was like such a different type of band. And the songs on here are great. The first song rules. It goes right into like Maiden right off the bat. The harmonies are nonstop, but that's what I love about the band. It's like I don't get sick of any of those harmonies. Like I could just listen to all the melody and the Irish influence for days. It's almost like the earlier the better sometimes, even though I love like Traveler because it's got that space element. It's influenced by that old Traveler role-playing game from the late 70s or whatever. But that production on that, I like that a lot. Sometimes this production seems a little sucked, but it has that style that built that album to the way it is. And with this album, I kind of like as you go back, it's even more organic and more raw. And Troll Pack rules that song. It reminds you of the Troll on Sirith Ungol, their fourth album. which one is that? Anyways, it reminds me of their song "The Troll." You can tell there's a Sirathungo influence in this band. I don't know if they knew that. They had to have liked them. Psionic Illuminations, definitely like a doomy kind of Sirathungo vibe on that. I do. Death Machine. I love how they pick up in the middle of that song, how it gets faster. Warriors Dawn. I don't know. Sky Chariots. I mean, I already mentioned that one. Traders and Gunboats. Mike Scully. Does he write a lot of the songs too, or was that John Cobbett?
He's the main.
Too?
I think Mike's the main writer in the band. I don't know how much. I'd have to look at the credits, but Cobbett, he and Cobbett were in the band together,
collaborating
over the first few records, and I don't know what the split was in the. Mike did all the singing, so I'm assuming he did all the lyrics.
Mike Scully. I mean, that's pretty genius. I mean, he's like to be able to like write all those lyrics and write all those cool riffs. And I don't know how much influence was coming in from the other guitar player, but it was definitely. I don't know. I don't know. I guess it could seem like something that if you're not into the style, I could see how maybe it would seem repetitive. But I'm the type of person like I even like Metal Lucifer, and that's like not as polished as this, And I could just listen to bands like that where it just like emulates old, archaic like Iron Maiden. And this definitely reminds me of like Brokus Helm too, and that they're from San Francisco.
Yeah, they could compare with Brokus Helm a lot.
Yeah, that's probably, and I didn't even really know Brokus Helm when I heard of this band, and then when I heard them, like, oh wow, okay, so that's like the origins of, I mean, and there's only two bands that were in that realm, it's like them, and then this band, with Mike Scully's unique vocals compared to like a lot of bands that, I know what you say, that they come out and they seem very templative. Like it's these traditional throwbacks, and everybody's got to do the perfect. I don't know. There's just something different. There's not weirdo metal. There needs to be more weirdo metal, and I think that's really what people are. I think in the long run, maybe the weirdos are looking for the weirdo metal. I'm a weirdo. What else was I gonna say? I love the band. We got to play with them. I saw him a couple times. When Angelo joined, I liked it even more.
Angelo Tringali.
Yeah, he's awesome. I don't know. He was he played with While Heaven Wept when we toured with you guys, Penance, and in Europe, and I could just watch Angelo play guitar. The fact that him and Mike are in a band together, I'm like, what the frick? It's freaking awesome. Mm-hmm. So
Angelo's a great dude, man.
I love him. Yeah,
love that guy.
I love all those guys. I love you. I love all you
guys.
I love you. I love all you guys. Everyone love each other. We've got the biggest muscles. We've got the biggest hug muscles.
We've got the biggest hugs of all.
Break the muscles of all. I had some other things to say. I don't know. I just, being young at the time. I mean, some people, maybe you grew up in the 80s. You had the original heavy metal. I wish I was like around during that time. I wish I was like 10, 15 years older, to like see it from a different angle. But at least during my angle, I had to sit through grunge and I had to sit through new metal and all this crap. And I don't know why I was listening to stuff I call myself born too late. But it's like, for me, the punk band that was Doom was like St. Vitus. Because like, I don't know if they were originally punk, but I love their style of Doom because it fuses that, And,
I like that too.
Hellhammer probably in the same way. I don't know. Triumph of Death, that's Doom. But, I love this band. I like that they covered Legend, the Wizard song, Wizard's Vengeance. Is that what it's called? By Legend from the Fjords.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so,
but
John.
you don't like that album, right? I don't know.
I like the record. I've always said I don't really think the vocals are that great on that record. I mean,
they're majestic. He's like singing. He's like.
I always say it's the best music matched with the worst vocals. Like for
not the worst.
It's not the worst, but I mean, like
he goes into
the reputation that record gets. Like when I first put it on, I'm like, this is gonna blow my face off, and it's like the riffs are cool, but I'm like, those vocals are like.
I think they're great.
I love that
the
album.
Fates Warning vocalist.
Oh man, I mean John Arch is in a
thing.
I mean that guy from Legend, like I don't know, he doesn't sound like John Arch, but
the way he could do those notes, I mean John Arch, man,
I like the vocals a lot more in Legend now. Like over the years, they've grown on me more, but I still think that there's better vocalists. But it is what it is.
In Wizard's Vengeance, like the fact that he does those like sort of mellower vocals, then when the Dark Wizard comes in, it's like he added that character. He's like the fact that he was able to do that is pretty impressive, you know. But then there's that band Sorcery who did Stunt Rock, you know, and I don't know if you put them in
great
the same
album.
realm. Yeah, I still love those songs too, but anyways, I'm getting off course. So my favorite album by Lord Weird might be Traveler, but I do love those early albums, and I like Angelo's albums. I don't know, I like everything, and I like Trolls.
Way to narrow it down, John. Way to take a stand.
Yeah.
What'd you say?
I said, way to narrow it down and take a stand, John. Luckily, you don't have to pick your favorite Slowfag album right now.
Wait, well, it is Traveler. Have you heard Traveler 2?
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, I haven't actually picked it up yet. I got to grab that.
What are you waiting for?
For nothing. I know I should just listen to it for free, but I like to own something.
Hear that?
I'm going to get it right from Angelo. I'm going to ask him.
You own my heart, John.
You're in my heart.
Yeah. You're in my heart. You're in my soul.
In my heart, in my soul.
Don't worry, baby. I'm just meaning in a masculine way. It's you own my heart. But...
what else I to say?
Love her.
I don't know. I give up.
Okay.
All right.
Well,
okay.
I'm on number 2. Man, all day long I was thinking I was going to switch these two up, and then I'm like, I'm gonna stick to my heart here and how it actually played out back in the day. So, number 2, House of God, King Diamond.
House of God.
I mean, I think we can all agree like the first 5 King Diamond albums are kind of like an entity in and of themselves, and then at least for me, everything that came after, you know, it's good, but they all didn't hit the same way like those first 5 did. For me, when this album came out, I was like super excited. I kind of read up on the promo on it a little bit, and it didn't hit right away, like a lot of people, like a lot of you have already said. But I came back to it, probably not even, I would say probably like a year later, and then it slowly started to click. And the more I've listened to it through the years, I for me, it's kind of revealed like how damn good this album is. Now, again, we've all got opinions, so it was the only album he played on, but I thought Glenn Drover was like the perfect yin and yang with Andy LaRocque. I thought they played perfect on this record. I love the interplay. And I continuously, every time I listen to it, I keep thinking to myself that this is pretty much an underrated, underappreciated gem in the catalog. And, you know, we all know King Diamond for being, you know, satanic and all of the Mercyful Fate stuff and, you know, the evilness of even like the earlier King Diamond. But this is a dark ass album in his catalog. And when you, now I don't usually get like super in depth with lyrics. I take it all in as part of the, you know, one piece of the whole puzzle. But, you know, just the fact that, you know, this is a narrative of what if Jesus didn't die on the cross, you know, and they took him down and smuggled him across to France. He married Mary Magdalene, started this like, you know, cult type thing. And, you know, the whole story that, you know, unveils itself throughout, I thought was like, dude, this is like some of the darkest shit he's done. And I know that if you take some of it out of context, Eric, you won't, you kind of lose sight of that.
No, I think you said it better than he did. I'm compelled by the story now. I want you to tell it.
Yeah, well, it is. I mean, it's a tragedy when you listen to it for, you know, start to finish. The whole story itself is a tragedy because it kind of ends up with all religion is one great big fucking lie. And there's just this evil entity that just sucks the life out of you to where there is like nothingness. And then despair, you know, between the protagonist and antagonist in this story, at the very end of it, the despair that you feel as this wraps up, kind of like, you know, you got to sit back and just kind of like, holy shit, what did I just digest?
God damn it, Mike!
You know,
now
and
you
it-
made me go listen to the damn
Yeah,
album again.
I'm telling you,
The
and
power of Mike compels you.
it sticks with you. It really, really sticks with you after a while, and then you want to go in because a lot of it is written, you know, in King's interpretation of myths that have some reality behind them. I can't remember the guy's name, and I'll butcher it if I try. But if you look into the story, you'll get a little bit more context behind it, and even that will make this a much more compelling listen because there's some reality based behind it. Yeah, but I will say that I do like that this is a little less on the, you know, proggy side, if you can even use that term with some King Diamond stuff. I typically can. I think there's some progginess, progressive elements to a lot of his music. I like that they shifted down to just a little bit more of a simplistic platform on this one. Um, Black Devils being one. I love just the plain simplicity of that album, and they just ride that riff. I think that's a lot of people bang on that, but I love that song. I love Catacombs. The Trees Have Eyes. That gallop that, you know, that starts the whole story going is fantastic. So, you know, I know that I use the term that, you know, it reveals itself. This album has really revealed itself more and more and more over the last probably 10 years, and has steadily climbed the ladder of my favorite King Diamond albums. Is it gonna, you know, jump into the top 5? I might hang around at number 6 because, you know, those first 5 are highly revered. But man, this album is just, I think it's a very overlooked, very special album in King's catalog. And if anybody's written it off, I highly encourage you to go back and check it back out because it's definitely worth it. So King Diamond, House of God is my number 2.
Right on.
All right.
Nice.
Here we go with our number
presented.
My number 1 is
well, Eric, you're gonna have to let me know if you go back and give it another little critical listen. Eric, you got to hit me up, man.
I'll be on an island for a week. I'll give it a full once over.
Got to indulge me a little bit.
It's good island music.
All right, Butch, what's your number 1?
My number 1 is Eternal Void, Unearthed, and it was my pick, but that is not why it was my number 1. I was open to it being somewhere else in the list, but at the end of the day, this record just, I mean, not, first of all, I think the record is great. There's something about this one as opposed to, I like all their records. I'll be honest, the first time I heard, when I was getting into more obscure kind of doom stuff or finding out about some of the Maryland bands, like Jerry's records there were still CDs kind of like tucked into the CD collection there that I was able to pick up, like not from Maryland, but Solitude Eternus, or and then from Maryland, like I remember grabbing Standing on the Sun, and I remember thinking like, yeah, this is okay. Like I like it, but I didn't love it. Like, and it's kind of goes to what Darin was saying. Like I was kind of put off a little bit by JD's voice. Now I had not seen the band live yet, and that album I think kind of has I appreciate it more now, but at the time I felt like it had a very kind of like same kind of vibe. I was struggling with JD's vocals, and I kind of put them aside. I got into other bands, but then come years later, I get involved with the guys in Penance, and we got to play down in Maryland a handful of times too. And one of my favorite shows down there was playing was Eternal Void and Pale Divine, and I think While Haven't Wept was on that bill too. And I just remember seeing those dudes live again, like Darin was saying, like it does change your perspective on the band. First of all, just seeing the musicianship in front of you was something. Like that, watching Kelly like play is like, the dude is an incredible player, and all the band is good. But that lineup of the bands in particular, and that's not. I'm not casting shade on Mike, and I'm not casting shade on Eric Little, who are both drummers that I love and respect as players and people. But that lineup of Eternal Void there was just something very special about that band. They were tighter than a cat's ass, and just the songs that ended up on this record, like you'd go see them live, and like I could not wait to hear, like we'd see them, and I couldn't wait to see them play with Apache Blood. Like I love that song, and I'm on the other hand, I'm the opposite of Eric. Like I love the In a Bit of a Jam. Like I love that little like kind of like hippie, like it's just jammy, like loose kind of instrumental, like kind of like it's odd for me, like in a way, like because I was so into like at one point, like I was like as much as I was into Doom, like it's interesting to me that the album theirs I love the best is probably the one that has the most of the 70s influences and stuff going through, and like again to see them live, it was just like holy shit, like seeing them play After the Storm live, and a lot of these songs they just had a great pacing. They always like pace the songs out in the set. Again, I'm just reiterating things that other people said, but like JD was a great front man. Like he up in front of the stage and then let the guys like shine when it was their turn to just play, and he would just stand back. And to see him live like changed me on, like I really like got more of an appreciation for the way that he sang. It's kind of like in a way like it's not, he's different than Neil Fallon from Clutch, but I'll compare it like this. It's like seeing Clutch live turned me on Neil Fallon too. Now Neil Fallon is a very like one-to-one, like you go to one of their shows and you leave feeling like he looked at everyone in the crowd. Like he's very much like while he's singing every line, he's looking at someone else and he's pointing while he does it. It doesn't have that same kind of vibe, but live he just carries himself so well that you can't help but appreciate his voice. And this album was just one of those ones, in the car, like going to practice, or if we'd be on the road, like driving from here to Maryland to play, having, I can remember, I don't know how many times listening to Spirit Caravan's Jug Full of Sun. And then when this came out, just constantly, like Terry loved, Terry was a big, Mutual Appreciation Society with Kelly Carmichael. That guitar playing is unbelievable. And it's one of, as I got to know those guys too, as people, it was hard not to like, even though like there's, again, I'll come back, there's always that little bit of competition with everyone. And they were like the big cheese in Maryland. Outside, once you got past Spirit Caravan and Pentagram, it was like those guys were like the local heroes kind of, and you wanted to impress like the people down there, and it was kind of like you couldn't help but love those dudes in that band. Like once you got to know them, like super friendly. So I'm glad, I'm glad that for every moment of time I got to spend with them over the years, and every time I got to see them live. And this album, just I've listened to it so many times, and it's been so long since I spun it that I was so glad when we picked this year and I saw it was I knew I had to pick it to revisit it. And man, it just the album makes me feel good when I listen to it. It's heavy, yeah, there's doomy stuff in it, but there's also like uplifting kind of stuff. They get into those 70s kind of things and those more like happy sound. There's some more happy sounding stuff that it's like it's one of my favorite records from of this style, like of all time. I just love the record. I had little doubt it was going to be number one, but you never know. But yeah, I wish that they were still doing it, because a lot of their other stuff is, I like Matricide a lot too. There were great ideas on there, and going back like the Voyage. I finally heard the Voyage demo all the way through when I'm sure I heard it in tapes in the car, but when Svart put it out on vinyl, like I actually like that better than Standing on the Sun. But Darin, did they ever release, like, did anyone like Svart ever release a vinyl version of Window to Hell, or just cassette only kind of thing?
No, I think they were supposed to. I think Adam was telling me that they were going to do them all, but they ended where they ended. I think it was just Those two, The Voyage. Well, Standing on the Sun came out first, and then I think they put out The Voyage, which I was surprised they put out The Voyage because it's just a demo. I mean, it's great, but I thought that the next logical step would be to go with, what do you call it? Unearthed, but they didn't. They went backwards to The Voyage.
Yeah, I would love to have this on vinyl, man.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I still have my CD. I could not bear to part with it because I still pull it out every once in a while and put it in the car and crank it up. Like I said, it's one of those records that just not only takes me back to a certain point in time, and it's like a lot of music that we all love. Like there's reason, like it might not be, certain records might not be like the best record, but it's your favorite record because it's part of a soundtrack of that time in your life. And this was just like this period from like 98, 99 through 2004 was just such a great part of my life. And I have just so many good memories musically, like of playing, meeting bands and the friends I made doing this and growing as a musician and growing as a person and stuff and this was, one of those records that was always in the background. There were certain albums that were just in rotation,
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
that's my
well
thoughts
said.
on that.
Well said.
Very well said.
Yeah, that's awesome.
All right, Eric, you're at number 1.
Well, as long as you guys can hear me, Butch was cutting out like crazy for me. So it's like show me like one line or something like for you, Mike. I don't know.
We can hear you. We can hear you just fine.
As long as you guys got me, I'm cool. But we were close on that one, Butch. I mean, at least we had that one at number 2. All right, where I had that at 2.
Yeah.
You had it at 1. So yeah, we're not close on Nevermore. Because Nevermore was the one I chose. It was also my number 1. Are you there, Mike?
Yep, I'm here. I can still hear
we're
you.
all here.
You guys are all frozen on me.
We can hear you.
We can hear you. Uh-oh.
Now we can't hear you. You son of a bitch. It's the sound of silence. Hello, Eric, my old friend. It seems we've lost your signal again.
Give him a second. Hopefully he pops back on here. Right as he hit
your number
1,
one is Nevermore.
And then my Wi-Fi went and hit the floor. There he is. Are you back, Eric?
Yeah, that time it kicked me completely off the planet. It just said, fuck off. Sent me packing. It was like reconnecting. So, okay, let me go quick then. So, so my number 1, I picked Nevermore. And, I'm kind of parroting a lot of what you guys are talking about, like your hometown boys and stuff. I mean, Nevermore being from Seattle. But really, it just sounds so similar in the experience. It's like the experiential part of this. I think I saw them. Actually, I thought I saw them open for Cannibal Corpse, but I was having lunch with Alex Webster a couple weeks ago, and I was like, "Didn't you guys play here with Nevermore?" And he was like, "No, we never. We only played a few shows with them, but we didn't play Portland." He's like, "I think it was Death," and I was like, "Oh fuck, I think it was Death." That I saw him with at a small club, but they were opening act, and it was for Dead Heart and a Dead World, and I had never heard them before. And they came on stage, and Worrell had like this Mandarin collar, I think like leather or something jacket, and came out and like they started, and he started singing, and I was like, "What the fuck is this?" Like I just had like curry for the first time or something. I was like, it was 2000, like I said. So you go to see Death or whoever. I think it might have been like Death and Christian or something, and Nevermore. I don't know, something like that. But those are all the bands I would want to go see anyway. But then these guys came on, and all I could think about was leaving and trying to go get their records because they were so fucking phenomenal on that stage. I couldn't. I was beside myself, and like I said.
Oh man.
Rats.
I can do some editing to help this out, but hopefully you can jump back on.
No editing.
No editing.
Everyone must suffer.
Everyone must suffer.
Everyone
a lot
will
of echo.
suffer.
Add some effects.
Yeah.
Cue the Jeopardy music right here.
Yeah. Do, 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 do.
Can you hear us, Eric?
Anal bum cover.
We'll
The
take
tits
anal
now.
bum covers for 200.
The sound
Let
of
tits
song.
now. Kurt Ferguson.
Yeah. It's funny. It's a fun hat. It's a funny hat. It's a funny name.
Turd Ferguson.
I don't know, man. Eric might be out for the count here.
Living on an island.
See if he comes back.
Didn't Jay Ferguson have a hit with a song called Living on an Island?
Maybe.
You know that dude from JoJo Gun?
Who was it?
I'll look it up.
Who was the guy that did that song?
Thunder Island.
Thunder Island. Yeah, Thunder Island.
Thunder Island. That's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah, Thunder Island. That's a great song. For what it is.
Thunder Island. Run, run, run.
La 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 la, my lady. Big radio hit. 79.
I'm wondering if we should just move along here. I got a feeling he's done.
Is he still alive, or it's the other dude that was in Spirit that?
Where did Jay Ferguson come
Randy
from?
California passed. He drowned to death. Trying to save his
was
kid.
the drummer, the bald guy,
Jack Cassidy,
or his stepdad was the drummer, the bald guy, or something.
Yeah.
Well,
let's move to Darin. We'll keep it rolling. If
number one.
If Eric happens to come back, we'll start. So go ahead, Darin. Sorry.
Number one, King Diamond, House of God. Was late to that album. Huge Mercyful Fate, King Diamond. I still am. I love the first 5 records. And I mean, I guess I like them all at this point, but the first 5 definitely. And then there was a lull. I just had a hard time connecting with Graveyard, probably taking them out of order. Spider's Lullaby.
Yeah.
I'm not really even. But anyway, he lost me. He lost me on those 2 records, and about half of the Eye. But I like the Eye, so I'll say as the first 5 records, I'll say those are all good. After that, I started to lose interest. It started to become a little overwhelmed by the stories that became the emphasis. And what I always liked about the King Diamond Band and Mercyful Fate, I'll lump the 2 together, is the riffs, the music aspect of it. I think the stories are cool. I mean, I like the aesthetic. It's fun. Spooky ghost stories. Even the satanic stuff was fun, like in a B horror kind of movie. Sure. Context. I dig it. But became like the Spider's Lullaby and the Graveyard. There weren't. I didn't hear the riffs. I wasn't really the music. I listened to the records and it would just kind of go right by me. There was nothing about them that I wanted to revisit or that I could even remember after I heard them. So I kind of I would always buy the records and I listened to them like, shit, this one sucks. Oh, well, maybe the next one will be better. And then it wasn't. And then I'm like, maybe the next one will be better. And then finally, when Voodoo came out, it was better.
Yeah.
And it was moving into a better direction. I mean, it was memorable. I like the story. Although the stories aren't really that important to me. What is important is that there's that vibe. There's that King Diamond vibe. I want that. I don't care specifically what he's singing about, but it's got to have that vibe. It's got to have that horror movie vibe, and Voodoo did, and I liked the music, and I was pretty excited about that record, and I listened to it a lot. I revisited that one pretty frequently at the time that it came out. And then that's kind of like, I mean, I guess I heard House of God, and the irony is that I didn't embrace it as much as I did Voodoo, but sometime later, I was talking about, getting into a conversation with King Diamond, and they're like, oh, but House of God that's one of my favorites. I'm like, really? Oh, wow. I didn't have that same experience. I sort of it kind of went by me. Oh, you got to check it out. And they started talking about the story, and I'm like, wow. Like Eric's reaction when you were telling the story, Eric's reaction was like, wow, maybe I need to go back and check that out again because the story sounds really cool. Well, that was my experience. I was talking to somebody or explaining the story to me, and I'm like, wow, I got to go back and check it out, and I did, and I found a new appreciation for it. It revealed itself to me, and so that's where I am, and that's stuck with me ever since. And in fact, it's definitely in my top 5. I like the production. Now this. Maybe it's not fair because this has been remastered by Andy LaRocque. So it sounds better than I remember the original version. I think I bought it on CD when it came out. But this version sounds great. I love the clarity of the instruments. I like that the music isn't so busy. I think that it's, we talked about some of the songs specifically. I appreciate that. I like that it's a little bit more, it's easier to get into. I don't get lost in this, this complexity. And then, you got complex music, and then you've got these overbearing lyrics, and it's too much overstimulation. I don't get that feeling from this. It hits the right spot. I like the story. I like the band. I wish that this band would have. This is the only album that this band played on, isn't it?
Yep.
I wish that they would have continued into the next album. I think that what's his name, Glenn. I gotta open it up.
Yep. Glenn Drover.
Here. Glendover. Bendover. Is it Bendover? No, it's Glenn. I'm sorry, it's Glenn. I thought it was Ben. I thought it was Bendover, but it's Glenn. Him and Andy LaRocque.
I'm really leaning over, my friend. Bend over.
Bend over. I bet he got teased a lot. I bet he got called Ben a lot. But he made up for it because he became a kick-ass guitar player, so he could tell everybody, "Fuck off. I'm Glenn, not Ben. Fuck you." But him and Andy LaRocque sound great together. I think they complement each other really well. It makes the album a really enjoyable musical experience. That's gay, but it does. I mean, I really I appreciate the album, and it's fun, and so yeah, that it ended up in my number 1. Plus, it's King Diamond. I mean, you got to King Diamond, the legend, iconic, and metal. You got to give the King his due. You got to put him number 1. So that's what I did. Put the King at number 1.
The King.
The King. Yeah, I mirror a lot of your sentiment there about that album, and it's it took me a little bit, but once it hit hard. It was really good. So cool.
Good stuff.
All right, John, number 1.
All right. I feel bad that Eric's not here, but
me too.
Continue on, and between Internal Void and Slough and King Diamond, any one of those could have been one, and I picked King Diamond, House of God. There's definitely a special moment in time in the late 90s, early 2000s. It's Voodoo came out. We saw that tour.
Yeah.
Me, Nick, and Mike, and my Uncle Rudy. And,
I love Uncle Rudy.
Oh, Rudy's awesome. In fact, I got a story about him coming up. So we were at the Penny Arcade for the Voodoo show. We were up front. We get right up to the bar. And, King Diamond would come out, and you'd have the dancer, and everybody be right there with the fog. And Andy LaRocque. I think we always stood in front of Andy LaRocque, obviously, because it was freaking awesome. And, 2 years later, House of God comes out, and we go to see him at a bigger venue at the Water Street Music Hall. And, Butch, you might have been to Water Street Music Hall. Oh, hey, Eric.
Hey. Maybe I saw a riot up there.
I don't know.
I bet he got teased a lot. 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 I bet he got teased a lot
Yeah, you saw Ride at the Montage, I think.
Yeah, I never went to the other one then. I was only ever at the Bug Jar and the Montage.
Okay, you weren't at Ron's wedding?
Oh yeah. I know what venue. Yeah, I was
Remember
there.
that venue? That was the Water Street Music
Yeah,
Hall with While Having Wet Played and all that.
yeah, it was a cool room.
Yeah, very big, pretty decent size, and we pretty much got up front, and I ended up pairing off with some older metal guy with a tank top, just some old like sunburned, tattooed guy. He's like, me and you will lock arms. No one's gonna penetrate you. Get between us. And so like we do that, and like nobody. We're at the bar. That's not even the funny part.
Did you guys get penetrated? Did you guys get penetrated?
I was waiting. I knew
got
The guy in the
penetrated.
tank top trying to penetrate John.
I don't know if he's not penetrating, but
You and me, buddy.
Party.
I hope the locking arms work.
we locked the arms, And I was like,
Yeah,
okay.
good.
And he had like this mullet and frizzed out hair. And I don't even think I had hair at the time. I was already losing my hair. I was 20 years old, 22. But Rudy was like literally like right here. Nick and Mike were at the other side of the bar. And Rudy was behind us, like right like two people back. And he was holding his spot. And this guy took his like claw and was clawing into Rudy's side like this and just digging into his side because maybe he was hoping he would move or get out of his way. I don't know. But Rudy held out. Like he just laughed it off and he just like, I don't know how the hell he dealt with it, but he was like, I think afterwards he had like a freaking welt there or something.
Ow.
Yeah, and it was like what we did to watch King Diamond, And yeah, the show was freaking awesome. Yeah, but it was for this album, and yeah, man, this album. I don't even think I even had the album when I went to see that because I had like Abigail and I had them and what else did I have? I don't know. I had some
Conspiracy.
I had Conspiracy. Yes, I had that at the
Yeah.
time in the late '90s because back in the '90s, I think I told you a story many times. I buy all these metal albums when I was getting into metal in the '90s because they were all cheap. Like everybody was selling their shit for Tori Amos or something. So at the time, I got the Melissa and Don't Break the Oath. I had all that stuff, and yeah, so I had that. I already knew about King Diamond when I went to see it, and we'd already seen Voodoo and the Voodoo tour, and but yeah, this album I'm actually just kind of getting more acquainted with it now, just like as the full album, and Trees of Eyes. I kind of like how. Like for me, I like the stories and stuff, but I don't even actually have to even understand. I mean, I pay attention to the story, but I don't even have to know about the story because I just like the instrumentation. I like the atmosphere, his vocals. Trees of Eyes remind me of like Children of the Grave. It's totally Sabbathy,
Yeah.
And I think that's awesome. And like even like I think King Diamond must have been just very influenced by Ozzy in general because it's like even Follow the Wolf has that Ozzy riff in the beginning. Is that Suicide Solution or something? But it's like different.
Yeah.
Manila Road does it. A lot of bands do that same chord picking thing. The Pact, the galloping riffs, freaking I don't know. Catacomb is awesome.
Yeah.
I don't know. Goodbye. I like Peace of Mind a lot. It's just melodic, just instrumental type thing. And
Andy's instrumentals are always good on those albums.
Yeah, they're always
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
yeah, it's kind of like listening to like Laguna Sunrise by Tony Iommi. It's like listening to his instrumentals. He's got that same. He just puts a lot of feeling into it. It's like, I mean, even COC do that when they do their instrumentals. They put feeling into it. I like what's his name, Woody Weatherman, or I like his guitar playing. But anyways, this album is awesome. I put King Diamond first because for obvious reasons. Probably the same reason I put Motorhead first. But it also goes back to a time when I saw these bands live in smaller venues, and even though the Water Street Music Hall was bigger, it was still a small venue. It wasn't like huge the way bands play now, and they're over $100 to go see or $200 or whatever it costs. But that was just I swear to God, I thought King Diamond came around 3 times, but as I was looking at the albums, it's like, well, Voodoo came out in like '98. So it must have been touring in 98, 99. And then we saw this one in either 2000 or 2001, wherever the tour landed.
Mm-hmm.
And then he did Abigail 2 after that. Was that the next one?
Yeah.
And I can't remember if we saw that tour. I don't know why I don't remember seeing that. Unless,
So did he tour on that album? I'm not so sure.
Did he
toured.
not?
Abigail too? I don't think I don't think he did. I don't
is
think he
that
came
why we
back around.
never?
No.
Is that why we stopped seeing him? Okay, because I was
Oh,
kind of
that's when
wondering.
his. I think that's when he had his heart problems and he had some back issues that put him sidelined him for quite a while there. So I don't think there was a tour for Abigail.
That's why. That explains it.
Yeah. You'd have to look it up to be sure, but I think that's what happened. I think that's right around the time he had that. He had like triple or quadruple bypass or something like that. Then he had back
Puppet
issues.
Master came out. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. But
Satan tried to get him early.
He did. He didn't win. Or maybe he is winning.
So
But,
King Diamond.
Yeah, that's my number one.
Eric, I know that you've been in and out a little bit. I know Nevermore is your number one. Do you want to jump in on that?
I can try, man. I think I get about 10 minutes on here and then it just shuts down and the rest of my family showed up here. So it looks like they're probably all using the internet. So, but anyway, the last time I left off somewhere with seeing them, Nevermore open for Death, I think it was, totally blew me away. So it's one of those experiential things where like, I just couldn't believe what I was seeing, like Jeff Loomis's guitar playing and Warrell Dane's vocals, like was what I wanted from Queensryche, but never got. Like it was a more twisted, diminished sounding emotive vocal that was what I didn't know I needed in my life. And at the time I was like, fuck yeah. But I'd never heard any of their stuff. I'd heard Sanctuary, but I didn't really, just kind of peripherally. But anyhow, so I mean, that was my entryway into Nevermore. They've been really influential on me musically, in some ways. I think mainly just in their emotive style. Like, my close friend and co-writer, Kevin Hahn, will always poo-poo them because he was like a music major in college and with me, and he's like, he can't stand Warrell's voice because he says it reminds him of the Thespians doing like Phantom of the Opera. And he's like, he goes, dude, it's too fucking theatrical, man. It's just too like showy. Like, I'm like, no, fuck off. What are you talking about? Like, listen what he's doing here. I mean, it's amazing. Like, I'm like, you can't, he can't be right about everything, and certainly not on that one. But so we agree to disagree on that. But he just sees where I'm coming from with it. But I just get so much out of what they do. If there's a fault with Nevermore for me, it's their drumming. Van Williams' drums are too much of the digga 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 digga. It's just, and I've complained about that a lot, I know, but they do that too much. And so, but I think that Jeff Loomis does a great job of not playing into that and just kind of doing, lots of triads and lots of sweeping. He keeps the riffs interesting. I think if they had more groove sometimes, it would be even better. But I'm a big fan, and so I can see where you guys talk about like the modern edge. I think he was also playing on the 7-string on some of that. I'm not sure.
The entire album was done on the 7-string.
That makes sense. I mean, well, hopefully those of you guys who have listened to Sleepless don't hate the 3 songs on the new album I did with 7-string, but I'm trying to make it so you don't really notice, and so it's but yeah, because I sold my first 7-string because of Korn, and I was like, fuck, I can't play this thing. But if you play, I actually play on the Jeff Loomis 7-string Jackson, and it has a very 6-string feel to it. So I just pretend, it's that, and I don't use it in the evil ways that people have.
Yeah.
What's that?
Sorry, go on. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt.
Shit, you guys are cutting out on me. Internet connection unstable.
Don't you
You're
love
coming
that?
clear over here.
Okay, cool. So I wanted to hear what you guys
had
to say about the 7-string shit, but so yeah, I mean that's just, so that was a big, just kind of like my introduction to those guys, and I've just been a big fan of what they do. I don't like Archangel, or not Archangel. What am I thinking of? Arch Enemy. arch enemy that much. I mean, it's cool. I mean, I'm a Jeff Loomis fan, but it doesn't mean I like everything he does. But I love Nevermore, and again, I would change up the drumming a little bit in the perfect world, but other than that, I mean, the album just hit the mark for me. It's not my favorite album of theirs, probably. Actually, I like their last couple albums the least. I like their earlier stuff. Yeah, the last couple for me kind of just fell a little bit flat emotionally. I like Dreaming Neon Black or whatever it was. Yeah, that album to me is like I can definitely when every once in a while I get a Nevermore comparison to Sleepless, and I'm like, great, I'll take that for a fucking $1 because I can't play the stuff they play. I'm like, if you're getting the vibe of it, yeah, it's that same kind of dark and emotive type thing. But yeah, anyway, I love the record, so it had to be my number one. Yeah, kind of without question. And their cover of, I will say, the cover of The Sound of Silence, again, if you listen to Disturbed, you're gonna have to put that one lower. And I do think, and I think Darin mentioned too, like the way Worrell sings it, I think it really is about, I think it was the vocal lines. I think it was like the lyrics to this, and they all love the vocals as much as we all do from Simon and Garfunkel. Like, This is so fucking great. So when you're going to approach that, you have to go like, well, how the hell are we going to do it? So we're going to do it our own way. And he still does his twisted, diminished vocal runs. And I think that especially towards the bridge section,
Damn.
The cliffhangers right and left.
Come on, Eric, get back.
Come on, man.
He's edging us real bad, man.
Are you back, Eric?
Yeah, I'm back. Did you guys catch anything I was saying?
No, you froze up there.
Yeah, we were talking about his diminished vocals on
Sound of Silence.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, I can see how people would think it's a little on the nose and kind of goofy and, stuff too. So, I could take or leave that song, definitely. The River Dragon Comes, or whatever it is like the hallmark of that album. It's like best thing ever. And as far as, guitar parts, that harmony, the dual guitar part he does in that song is fucking insane. So, I mean, you can't top that. I mean, I get a little bit nervous because, you guys talk about cover tunes. If you may hate my cover of God of Thunder, although Mike's heard it. So
I love it. I think it's fucking great.
It'll be out Wednesday. So
I want to hear it.
Love it or hate it. I mean, I based it off of Paul Stanley's demo version instead of off of
I love that version.
Bob Ezrin version. So faster.
And
he did that
tempo going.
So we just did Exciter type double basses on it. So we actually did the 16 though. Yeah. But I mean, Kelly, our bass player in Alpha Destroyer, plays like in Buck Cherry, and he's like got that rock and roll. He's a Kiss guy, so he just crushes the bass on it. Sounds fucking killer. And our singer Martin's like a melody guy, so he did all the like falsettos and backing vocals, and yeah, it's cool. I think it's cool. I mean, the guys at Clawhammer PR just wrote back and were like, "Fuck, this is great." I'm like, well, I'm glad you guys dig it. I've been wanting to do it forever. I just didn't have the right guys to do it. So anyway, but
I can't wait to hear
that
it.
Wasn't inspired by Nevermore at all. What's that?
I said I can't wait to hear it, man.
Well,
I want to hear it.
Well, Mike has it. I'm sure he'll.
It's awesome.
It's cool. It was fun. My wife loves it, and she's a pretty good judge of music. She heard the chorus and she was like, "Oh shit!" Like that. That thing slaps. But yeah.
Oh
yeah. Damn it!
It's like, hey.
I hope he comes back on because my number one is Nevermore. I want to.
Oh, is it? Wow. Okay.
Come on, Eric, come back.
Oh.
All right, I'll start. Hopefully he can. Oh, he's back. All right, I was telling everybody. I hope you jump back on, Eric.
Oh, and he froze again.
He froze again.
Come back, Aaron. Come back. This is where you belong.
I'll
Baby,
go with it.
Back.
I'll go with it. Hopefully he can come back
Aaron,
too.
come back.
All right,
yeah.
My number one is definitely Eric's back. Please, the gods of Wi-Fi. Please let Eric hang around for a little bit. Dead Heart in a Dead World. Now I got a couple of silly things here. I think this came out in October of 2000, if I remember right. Anyway, we had just put brand new carpeting in my shop, and whenever I listen to this, I can still smell that carpeting. So it like totally just takes me back to that, era. Um, like Eric, this is just under Dreamy Neon Black as my favorite. I mean, it's the finest of lines possible. A lot of people feel that this is, their magnum opus. I'm not going to disagree with them because it is that good. Um, like it or hate it, a lot of people have problems with Andy Sneap and his production. I'll say that I'm on the fence a little bit with like the latest Judas Priest albums. There's a little bit of that Sneap fatigue in there because they're so polished. But I think he knocked this one out of the park. I think this sounds really good. And a lot of people say that this is a landmark for like the modern metal production. Take that any way you want it. But I go way back with Nevermore. I loved Sanctuary. So when I heard that Nevermore was going to be a thing, I was on it like immediately. So me and a buddy, we went to their very first tour with Arch Enemy, and I think they were on like the Lunar Strain support. I can't remember which one. It was way early on though.
Lunar Strain. In Flames? Lunar Strain?
Am I thinking it? Oh, I'm thinking In Flames. No, I'm thinking Arch Enemy. Black Earth.
Oh,
I'm getting.
Yeah, that sounds right.
I'm getting my albums mixed up. Yeah, it was Black Earth because it was definitely Arch Enemy.
Yeah.
And it was the first time that we got to meet Worrell and kind of talk to him a little bit and stuff. And as they progressed on and on, Dreamy Neon Black just, was at the right time in my life where that album just made a huge impact on me. And this one was just as big. I probably played this album the most that year. And I can't say enough and Darin, I think you said it earlier, his Worrell Dane's emotional delivery is just something special. I mean, he puts everything into every single song, which gives every song its own feel and identity. And, he was really big on, speaking of religious hypocrisy and, social decay and just a lot of dark subject matter that kind of resonated because,
Are we talking about King Diamond again?
No, we're talking about in my number one.
Oh, shit.
Dead Heart and Dead World. I hope you stick around a little bit. I was just saying that I've been with him from the start, from when Sanctuary kind of got shelved and we knew Nevermore was coming about, we jumped on that immediately. So that first self-titled album, we went and saw that tour, and I've seen every tour that was possible for them to come through, up to Enemies of Reality. Maybe I think I saw that because they played. Didn't they play on Megadeth's Fest for a little bit? I think I saw them on that one. But we've seen them with Opeth. I've seen them with Arch Enemy. I've seen them everywhere. But I know that they're special to you, Eric, because of the Seattle sound, your area. But Jeff Loomis is a Wisconsin boy, so we've got that connection there.
Yeah.
Grew up in West Dallas. But yeah, I think a big thing of it was, that he played a 7-string on this entire album. And I think that gave it that edge of just, pure heaviness, which really catapulted a lot of the songs, into the stratosphere. Narco Synthesis, River Dragon has come. I know that that is like the centerpiece for a lot of people, but I think Believe in Nothing for me was like the emotional heart punch of the whole album. And that solo that comes in at right around 240 that Loomis pulls off, talk about just soaring and emotional. And it goes, and the way Worrell comes back in with the chorus. Oh, man. And then how do they wrap it up with the title track? I mean, it's so damn good. But I gotta say, Eric, now I think a lot of people are like, well, they got kind of like the new metal riffs or whatever. I don't hear that so much with this band, and I even like to say that there's a progressive element with Nevermore. I like Van Williams. I think if you break down a lot of the stuff that he does on drums, like, and really kind of hone in on it, that guy does a lot of little intricate stuff that really plays into how the song wraps up or intros and stuff. I think he deserves a little bit more credit than he gets. But I've always really thought his drumming was top notch. So Yeah, we've all gone around, but if you've been paying attention through shows and anything else Butch and I've done, I'm a big Nevermore fan. So this just ekes out King Diamond for my number one.
Hey, Mike, I have one question.
Yes, sir.
Was Nevermore from Wisconsin from 91 to 97. They have a demo called Into the Black.
I'll have to look that up. I'm not sure.
It was like when I was on Metal Archives, looking up Nevermore. There's 3 other bands, and one's from Wisconsin. I just thought that was kind of funny.
No cities listed, just Wisconsin.
Oh, Milwaukee.
Oh, no, does it say Nevermore?
Spell same name.
Same way as this one?
Yeah, Into the
There
Black.
was another
demo.
There was another Nevermore that was signed that were on I think a major label.
There's
And
one.
Wow.
I saw them open for somebody back in the 80s, like 80, 86,
Well, there's one
87.
from 83 from New York. They had an EP.
As far as that Wisconsin one goes, I'll have
I
to
see
look into
one here
that because
from
I
New
don't
York.
remember that at all.
Caroline Records, that's like the Misfits was on that. So maybe that's it.
There was a Nevermore here in Pittsburgh, but they were a hair metal band. Yeah, there's a band from 91 to 97, Nevermore from Milwaukee. They did one demo, like John was saying.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to look that up. That must have been some kind of basement shit that maybe they
Progressive
sold.
heavy power metal.
I'm trying to find musicians to form a band called Nevermore. If anybody's interested or you know anybody,
I'm interested. Yeah.
Okay. I want the name to be Nevermore, and I want it to be
There's
Hey,
only
I
like
know a singer. There's a singer named Daryl Wayne that might work for you.
That's what his name
Darrell Wayne.
should have been Daryl Wayne.
Forever
I want
Less.
to say Daryl Wayne every time I reference Werrell Dane. I want to say Daryl Wayne.
Yeah.
And
Backwards.
Glenn Jover's brother, Ben.
Yep.
Call it Forever Less.
Yeah, right. All right, guys. Well, that was a pretty good batch of albums for 2000. 2000 put out some pretty good stuff.
Hell yeah.
So.
Hell yeah.
Not too bad.
There's a lot out there.
Not too bad.
Let's go back to the 70s for the next
2000.
thing. That's good.
I would be down.
Don't
with
give
that.
it up. Don't give it up yet. Let's discuss that. Let's wrap it up because I don't know if Eric is going to stick
I
around.
apologize. I'm we need to make sure I'm on stable ground, I guess.
I've had those problems too, man. Don't even sweat it.
I was nervous about being here.
Ground.
Yeah, I was nervous about being here, but I just thought, everybody's like, no, the internet's fine. I'm like, okay. I mean, cell phone coverage isn't great here. I mean, right on the Canadian border and it's like in the middle of the fucking ocean. So, But it was still fun to party with you guys. What's our next year?
Let's wrap it up real quick, and then we'll talk while you still got a little bit of Wi-Fi. So, everybody, we love you. Thanks for joining us on the ranking table. Until next time, we'll save you a seat at the ranking table.
Battle.
Here comes my